Madreamd, Thompson, Faint Memory, and Shizzy all have taken the first steps to etch their name into the SWC 2021 Cup by qualifying for the Americas Cup. Who else will join them? Let's find out here on day 3 of the preliminaries. Hi everyone, I'm Daniel D-Gon Gonzalez and welcome back to the Americas Cup preliminaries, day number 3. Like I said earlier, we booked 4 tickets to the Americas Cup, and we got 4 more to go with 12 competitors and only 1 opportunity to do so. This is all a single elimination bracket now, y'all. They already got their L's out the way, so we're only taking players getting dubs, y'all. And, you know, for more dubs, you got to have a great team on your side. You know, you got to make sure that the toolbox is great. And because, you know, I'm not great by myself, I need the teammates here. I got Once in Love and Stoic joining me. Guys, welcome, y'all. What were your impressions after days 1 and 2 of the preliminary, Stoic?
Well, it was exciting. We had a lot of people moving forward that a lot of people thought were going to do very well, and then we had some surprises, but those surprises are down here playing today, and they're looking for exactly what you said, that W, so we'll be seeing if that is going to happen.
Once in Love, we had insane drafts, insane like procs, insane non-procs if we're talking about bombs. Like, what were some of the things that surprised you in days 1 and 2?
Definitely, it's got to go with the drafts. You know, seeing that Wind Ryu out from Faint Memory, seeing the Chloe from both Faint Memory and from JMak, the Vampire Samoth tech. There was some really cool, unique stuff that we almost never see.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see if we've got more of that in store here in day number 3. And of course, if you enjoy your broadcast, maybe in Espanol or Portuguese, we've got you covered. We've got the Spanish and Portuguese broadcast officially here for SWC's America's Cup the whole way along, so make sure you check that one out. And of course, we're making the step towards 2021, but 2020 was a banger. Let's take a look at that recap from last year's action. Man, what a time it was there in 2020 as we get closer and closer to our SWC 2021. But before we do that, we've got to figure out who's making it through the Americas qualifiers. And again, here's our overview right here. It is 3 days of action. Days 1 and 2 were part of the double elimination bracket. So if you lost, you moved on over to day 3. We booked 4 tickets for players going on through. And again, if you are one of the players that make it on through, 4 more today to have a total of 8 players in the America's Cup. You'll be playing in September 12th for that America's Cup. It resets into another double elimination bracket. Of course, the 16 players that we picked were from the highest rated players in the Americas region. It was invites, and only 8 will advance, and then 2 will represent the Americas region over at SWC 2021. And they don't leave empty-handed. They get themselves a nice little chunk of change getting on in there. $10,000 for first place and the America's Cup title, as well as second place gets $5,000, and then third place $2,500. But of course, that's not what you want. You want to make sure you have the opportunity to play for this, the SWC trophy, the one that many people have etched their name on into, but who will get to do it in 2021? We'll find out. And we've got 16 guys that think they're the ones that will be able to do it. Bam, right here. You can take a look at all of our competitors that have gone through. Again, no one is out yet. We've got 4 that have made it on in, but 12 still working their way on through after days 1 and 2 were just explosive drafts, explosive gameplay, and I'm very excited to see. But of course, before we get into the rest of the preliminaries, we got to highlight the guys that did make it on through. The ones that I said at the top of the broadcast. Shizzy and Faint Memory were the ones that booked their ticket after day number 1. And day number 2, expected with Thompson, Madreamd, probably one of the highest potential players that have made it on through to the America's Cup. We're going to book 4 more tickets. You see that on the opposite side of your screen. And then at the bottom, very important, the brackets will reset. It will be another draw. So if you lost the game earlier, don't worry about it. It's back to 0-0, and it's unseeded. So we'll see how that shakes on up. We know that seeding very, very important as you try to make it through a bracket. All right, so with all that done and dusted, let's get ourselves into today's bracket. These are the players that either won a game and then dropped one, or, you know, got started off on the wrong foot, but now have to put everything on the line because this is our single elimination bracket from here on out. The losers round one will kick off with DanielKarioKa and FirasFiras. Then the battle of the V's with BigV against TopaV. Then Duhstin and former champion drmzjoseph. Then Jsss against former champion Tiger. A lot of former champions in this one because the winner of that top side of the bracket will play the reigning champion JMak. Then Michaelyan, Zefarious, and TrueWhale will all wait the winners of the opening round. All right, business out of the way. Let's get on into it. Our first matchup, DanielKarioKa and FirasFiras. Now, these two guys did not get kicked off right off the top there. DanielKarioKa had probably one of the hardest matchups to go off in the very beginning against TrueWhale, and FirasFiras, one of Once and Love's guys, wasn't able to get their victory again in a tough matchup. And you can see right there the Pride of Brazil wearing the Canary Brazilian Football Federation jersey. Y'all, I kind of wanted to toss it to you. Once and Love, DanielKarioKa didn't have the best game in game number one, but also had one of the toughest matchups to kick things off. What does he need to do, and what does he need to change to move on through this very first matchup?
Be a little tough for DanielKarioKa. Yeah, definitely had one of the hardest matches there against TrueWhale. But, you know, being friends, DanielKarioKa and FirasFiras, both really, really close. They know each other's drafts super cleanly. So I'd be interested to see if Daniel has maybe a couple pocket picks ready for something that Firas is not expecting.
As we look at FirasFiras' stats here, Stoic, what does that do to the dynamic of a matchup when you know the other player really well? You know what their toolbox is, you know what their tendencies is. So as much as we have different ranks and different units, you're already familiar with that kind of match. How does that change the dynamic?
I mean, either the runes are going to show through or someone's going to bring something to help surprise in their draft, because the more unpredictable you are, the better your draft can be for your side of the field. Otherwise, rune quality is going to show, artifact quality is going to show, and that's something we know for Firas having very great of. He has fantastic artifacts, and he has some great rune quality under his belt as well. Now, it goes back to what I said before when it was Firas versus Thompson. I knew the unit pool was going to be an issue. I don't think that's going to be so much a problem here going up against DanielKarioKa.
Yeah, again, you see the water Ryu there, you got the Bison, but a lot of water there in this most recent season. So we'll see how FirasFiras lines up here against DanielKarioKa. And again, just kind of want to reiterate, this is a single elimination bracket. You lose, you're out, you win. Unfortunately for these guys, they got to go up against JMak, the reigning 2020 Americas Cup champion, and I guess participant over at SWC2020. So it's not an easy path, but one of them will move on. One of them will take the step forward. Who will it be? Let's find out. The first match of the preliminaries, day number 3, is underway right now. Stoic and Once and Love, take it away.
Here we go. We have our first match. This is a winners takes all bracket. We need to find out who wants it more, Firas or DanielKarioKa. With the weight of Brazil behind Mr. DanielKarioKa, can he get his first victory here over Firas?
First picks coming out on DanielKarioKa's side. We see the Nyx ban alongside the Okeanos ban. I really like the Okeanos ban here for Firas. Knows it's a very strong first turn contender with Daniel. Doesn't allow that to come through, but the Sierra first pick could easily come through on Daniel's side.
Ooh, and it looks like DanielKarioKa, I think he's trying to play a little bit towards Firas, taking his Carnal away here.
Yeah, the immediate Carnal lock and very good deny against Firas, one of his favorite units. But the thing is, Firas has been playing a lot without Carnal, knowing that that's a very popular first pick on the ladder. He's been playing around it, and there it is, the Chung Pong and Lulu to return. Lulu very, very good against the Carnal here.
Definitely some safe picks coming out of Firas with that Chung Pong and that Lulu. DanielKarioKa looking to respond with 2 other units. Let's see how much homework he's done here.
Yeah, I still really like Beast Rider setup into this. I like, you know, Daniel likes to play the Barbara alongside the Yin Hong, maybe even a Sierra possibly in here for that speed lead opportunity on turn 1.
Well, you nailed it for sure. DanielKarioKa going with that speed lead and also going with his LD Nat 5 Yin Hong. We know him to play with a lot.
I really like Yin Hong for this kind of style of play. You know, that swift turn 1 unit really puts a lot of pressure and basically says, you know, I don't even need my speed lead for turn 1. I'm going to take it.
Oh, looks like Firas is leaning towards a Molong and a Brand is coming out for Firas. This is very interesting.
Yeah, I like the Brandia pick. The Brandia is really cool. It's kind of a unique tech in the way that Karnal is. If you build it on Despair, for example, you can have that AoE stun into rotations. But I think a lot of players are opting for Violent because of that 2-turn sleep on skill 3.
Well, we've got a double speed lead coming out with DanielKarioKa looking at drafting more / Water Ryu here. The 24 speed lead with one other pick. He's going to be going with a Savannah.
A little bit aggressive here on DanielKarioKa's side. Not quite sure how I feel about the double single target strip here. The unreliable strip from the Yinhong is not exactly the greatest setup for turn 1 for Daniel when he has the Karnal and the Sierra, but Firas responds, takes the Rika, knows he's playing turn 2 and wants to have a lot of pressure into this draft. I think we're going to see a Water Ryu ban here.
Well, Rika is known as one of the most banned units, and we're going to be seeing that again. Rika is getting banned out, and Water Ryu is getting banned out.
An interesting leader skill opportunity here. The HP or the Brandia if he wants to go for that. But Daniel, pretty most likely taking the speed lead, but could actually opt for HP lead as well. Wants to deny more damage from that Mo Long.
And it looks like that speed lead's coming out. HP lead for Firas, guys. We are getting into our very first match today with DanielKarioKa and Firas. Here we go, guys.
And there it is. Swift Yinhong showing turn 1. Has the opportunity to go in. Does get the strip, though. Brandia loses immunity. Whole team attack bar boost up. Here we go.
That was a huge strip. They were able to push his team a little forward there. We've got Savannah looking to possibly deal some damage onto the Brandia. Interested to see what DanieKarioKa is going to be doing here.
This is the thing. This draft is it feels so unsafe. There's just not a lot to control and protect. If this Sierra doesn't kill the Chungpong right now, there's going to be a lot of resets coming out. The immunity from Lulu will protect Firas' entire team.
El Sierra having a better day today, landing that bomb and definitely dealing a lot of damage to Chungpong. Chungpong's not finished off here. Mo Long getting a nice lucky stun there on top of Sierra.
Nice that he landed the dot on the Chungpong, though. Does deny the immunity coming up from Lulu. Lulu only cleansing when there's a debuff up on you.
Yeah, DanieKarioKa going for that third skill, even though the immunity was up. He's really trying to get rid of that Chungpong. You can see Charge Vitality once again coming out onto Savannah to deal some damage. Really wants to get rid of the Chungpong here. I think Yinhong's going to have enough.
There it is. Chungpong goes down. Nice crit alongside the Yinhong, but there it is. The turn rotation from Brandia popping off. We got the attack, break, and glancing is going to deny a lot of debuffs here in the 2-turn sleep. Comes out. Brandia lands the skill 3.
Such a strong 2-turn sleep sitting on top of Savannah. Kana with additional turn here, looking to deal a little bit of damage to the Brandia. Can he drop this unit? He does not. Reckless Assault sitting and waiting with this Mo Long.
Oh, interesting to see though, the glancing on that Karnal still lands 3 sets of debuffs. Doesn't matter that he's on glancing. Takes away all that attack bar from Brandia.
Yinhong looking for some big blade fans. Got to get that strip on Mo Long, and he does nail it here. We do have a skill too that could go out onto the Brandia, get a little bit healthier with some immunity, and he does.
Oh, Karnal's additional turn though. The skill 3 is going to be big. A lot of additional damage. Pressures the Mo Long's HP down. Even with the glancing and the attack break, is going to pressure this Mo Long really, really heavily.
Sierra really having a good day today. That is 2 bombs in a row for DanielKarioKa. Trying to get rid of this Mo Long ASAP. I don't know if he's going to be able to drop it with this Lulu coming.
It was really important here in this draft to be able to take out that Chungpong on turn 1. It's just a little unfortunate for Firas. Wants to play the turn 2, but we all know turn 2 is pretty unsafe in this kind of meta.
Definitely unsafe indeed. Bomb sitting on top of the Mo Long. I don't believe this Mo Long was violent. We're going to see a skill 2 for the Death Break sitting on top of that Yinhong. Lulu does not have a cleanse up here. Looking for an additional turn. No additional turn coming out.
Oh, and a big hit from Brandia. Note that was a crushing hit. It didn't even crit. Still hit for 22k. That debuff scaling. Absolute insane amounts of damage. It's still looking pretty grim for Firas here. Doesn't have a lot of control. Savannah has a lot of potential for kills here.
Savannah really does. Glancing and sitting on top of Savannah. It's very, very important to limit that damage there. Yinhong trying to deal some damage. DanielKarioKa looking to get rid of this Brandia. Bomb does not finish off the Mo Long, but Yinhong's going to be there to drop the Mo Long.
It'll be enough, though. Will Lulu and Brandia be able to take this one for Firas? The glancing debuff's doing a lot for him. He's getting a lot of mileage out of it, but the damage is just going to come out too quickly soon here with Karnal and the additional damage from artifacts.
This Brandia really trying to do all she can. Possibly looking for a death break here. Instead goes for the third skill. Not dealing enough damage to this Yinhong. Yinhong playing the glancing on top of Brandia. Savannah trying to get all the damage in. We're going to see a big third skill coming to DanielKarioKa and chooses to go for a second skill onto the Brandia.
Wants to wait it out, has the glancing debuff, but now here it comes. The big sword rain incoming, and it could be enough to take it down.
Charge Vitality right into the Connell. Connell looking to do something, capitalize with that third skill, but Yonhong is going to be enough. Not looking good for Firas. DanielKarioKa with the damage, with the sustain, and the control to get this victory over Firas.
Overall in that draft, I feel like as Firas moves forward in this series, if he wants to continue to win against DanielKarioKa, he needs to respect the Yonhong pick. He needs to respect the attack bar gain and the speed. Maybe something like a Charlotte would have been more effective for him in a draft like this, but I think the biggest issue overall was he just didn't have enough pressure to keep moving forward.
Definitely did not have enough pressure indeed. I really like the Brandia. We'll see if he's going to be bringing that Brandia back into this next match here with DanielKarioKa and Firas. Pre-bans from last time. We've got 2 new pre-bans coming out now.
Yeah, one of the interesting things alongside the Brandia is it actually does work fairly effectively against this kind of CC-focused team that Daniel brought. Once he takes out the Sierra, there's not a lot of damage that comes through while the glancing and the attack breaker there. He just really needed the rotations. You know, pop that Brandia skill 3 into the Yinhong, but didn't manage to sleep, didn't manage to kill, just wasn't enough damage.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't enough damage, though. Firas with first pick, taking that Chungpong away from DanielKarioKa.
We see pretty classic pre-bans here for these two players. Firas going to deny the LD Nat 5 away from DanielKarioKa. Takes away that Yinhong. We see the Fire Bison Carnal pick. Firas is very well known for this. Has been using it for a couple seasons, seen a lot of really strong effect. Arguably might have even led the meta on running Carnal or Fire Bison.
I feel like he really did. DanielKarioKa locking in Ciara and Okeanos. Firas looking to respond after seeing a speed lead coming out. Is he going to be drafting his own speed lead and not going for that turn 2 situation like he did last match?
I really like the speed lead opportunity here. I think Nyx is very strong both into the Sierra and the Okeanos. Denying that harmful effect rate is really, really strong, but leans towards the turn 2 again. We see the Brandia, no Fire Bison, so we see the Brandia.
I do like seeing this Brandy again. I really want to see this unit work out for him. It might work out a little bit better having this Nyx on the field, though.
We like that he's spreading the elements, but I'm a little worried he picked it too early. We know DanielKarioKa loves the Barbara, loves the Masha, is a big Beast Rider player, so we could see a Barbara Fran here, and I'd be a little bit afraid on Firas' side of just dying on turn 1.
Definitely, that Barbara can provide a lot of damage, possibly remove that Brandy from the field. He's going to be bringing attack buff with him, with that Fran alongside the Barbara.
On Firas' side, I'm leaning towards that Charlotte pick. I like the Charlotte. I still like the Water Ryu. Even right now, he could honestly swap it up and go for a double speed lead strip comp. The Chiwu and the Water Ryu could come in. There's a lot of control between these units. Chungpong being very effective here alongside the Brandy. Turn rotations are good on either side.
Yep, 24 and a 33 speed lead coming out for Firas. Really trying to get that first turn now.
Oh, and my apologies. We don't actually need the Water Ryu here because the Nyx is more than enough pressure for a fast strip, especially if it's on Swift. Could be on Despair, though. A lot of different opportunities for builds here. Either player could really be tossing it up for anything.
DanielKarioKa hovering over a Molly. Is he going to choose to lock in this Molly? That's a lot of sustain for his side of the field.
I actually really like this Molly. I think it's a force ban for Firas. Firas is very debuff focused. If he misses too many debuffs, he will just outright lose to it. You know, banning the Fran here does drop the immunity, but it's probably not enough. That's a lot of healing coming out on that side.
That's definitely a lot of healing indeed. Bans are going to be coming out shortly. I think these two should probably take their time about it. It's a very important match for Firas here. He needs to stay into this one if he wants to move into a game 3.
And the Respect ban comes out, taking away the Brandy. It doesn't want to deal with that 2-turn sleep, does bonus damage through immunity.
And there you have it, guys. We've got a 33 speed lead for Firas. He's looking at taking turn 1, getting into round 2 with DanielKarioKa. Here we go. Chiwu with the big strip attack by pushback.
Barbara does cut, takes the turn, gets the push. Here comes the AoE immunity and attack buff.
And this is going to be an attack buff bomb. We're going to see massive damage coming out of this Ciara.
Doesn't quite need to use it, though. But probably best to save it, actually. Saves it to keep the immunity up and the attack buff for next turn's bomb. Samath goes down, though.
Samath goes down, and you get the additional turn coming out of DanielKarioKa. Already not looking good for Firas. We might see that bomb go onto the Chiwu. He could detonate this, but he doesn't have to.
Doesn't even need to use the Oki skill 2 to reset the Samath. Just takes all the damage on the first turn and misses the strip on 2. That's pretty crucial there. Can't use the skill 3 from the Chungpong.
Nyx missed that massive strip, but the Chungpong came in there to capitalize on it after that. But Okeanos getting a couple turns here. He could finish off that Chiwu. Chiwu will possibly die to the dot after the set. Let's see what DanieKarioKa is going to do here.
managed to get 4 stuns there, or 3 stuns there with the glancing debuff. A little unfortunate for Firas. Had the glancing up, but just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
Yeah, definitely couldn't capitalize on it. DanieKarioKa once again looking so strong into this match. Looks like his target of focus is going to be trying to drop out this Nyx now over the Chung Pung. He's evening out his damage, which honestly, he has that kind of time to do so.
Not looking very good for Firas. Doesn't have the cooldowns he needs to just move forward here. And, you know, that Barbara is a great pick in this situation. Got that cut and just really moved forward effectively.
Oh, bomb's going to be coming out. Does not land, but as expected with the Nyx being on the field, we get the additional turn coming out of Ciara. Big skill 2 onto the Nyx. Barbara's going to be finishing off this unit here. Barbara does not finish off this unit here. Not just yet. And there you have it. Round 2 is going to DanielKarioKa. DanielKarioKa is going to be moving forward.
And there we go. It was a battle for that second turn 2, and then we swapped it up a little bit. Chiwu's got a huge strip there, but it didn't really matter there for FirasFiras as DanielKarioKa gets the win and will continue on in the Americas Cup preliminaries, has another opportunity to try and make it on through. Huge stuff there for him and for all of the fans around the world, specifically in Brazil. For FirasFiras, it felt like he never got anything going there, even on getting the strip. Then Fran is able to just immunity back on up. Made it pretty tough. A short trip here for the Americas Cup for FirasFiras. We say goodbye to him. Guys, again, Stoic, I kind of just wanted to get your thoughts on that one real quick as we take a look at it one more time. It just felt like FirasFiras never got going.
Yeah, he definitely didn't get anything going here. I also thought he had, you know, aggressive drafting, even though the Molong Lulu was kind of like a safe team. A lot of people play this, but DanielKarioKa had very clean drafts. He did get a couple little lucky with some like resists here and there, but DanielKarioKa, I think the play, I think the drafting was very clean for him. Today was DanielKarioKa's day, and I think that's ultimately what came down to it.
Yeah, once in love, you brought it up. The Carnal draft away there by DanielKarioKa proved to be a little confusing there for FirasFiras.
Yeah, getting that first pick opportunity and being able to, you know, take that on the first set of matches was just really incredible for him. It's one of the stronger meta units in the meta, so it really defines the way you can kind of pace your matches out. So I feel like losing that, even though he was ready with a new pick, you know, after the first match, DanielKarioKa said, you know what, I respect it. I don't want to play against that, and just had a draft completely ready for it.
All right, well, with that, again, we can update our bracket as DanielKarioKa moves on and will have an opportunity to make it to the Americas Cup, but he's going to be going through last year's Americas Cup champion, JMak, the reigning 2020 Americas Cup champion. That's going to be a hell of a match to watch in a best of 5. Remember, these first rounds, you can see right there, boop, best of 3. So best of 5 for DanielKarioKa and JMak, as we have another player that will be making the step into that best of 5 round with our next matchup. It's the Battle of the Vs. BigV against TopaV. And so TopaV, he made it through to the Americas Cup last year, lost his first match here, and now finds himself down on the bottom against BigV, who's one of the players that I believe took a break beforehand. You can see when we roll his stats there, his legend ranking was a little bit questionable there at like 60, 70, 80, around there. But BigV, part of that 27 cups of whiskey, one of Stoic's favorite guild names, using the Moor, using the Sierra, seems pretty meta along the lines here, Stoic.
Yeah, definitely. Not so much meta. We're seeing some LD Nat5s coming out of him as well, but when you see these high win rates up in the 70% range, we're seeing consistency. We're seeing someone who knows his draft and he's playing very well, and someone who's able to draft and kind of predict his opponent. And I think this is where it's going to come in handy when he's playing TopaV, because TopaV sadly has been playing a little bit on the predictable side. I think TopaV really needs to spread out his draft and show something that BigV is not going to be ready for, but BigV showing that he is ready for a lot of things with those high percentage win rates.
One's the love. Thoughts here on this matchup?
I'd be interested to see if he goes back to his Season 16 meta, picks up that Nikki there. You know, she did get a buff, so she has more healing, and she does a ton of damage with additionals. I think it's something that will catch a lot of people off guard, and is actually, definitely, I would consider a really strong pocket pick for a tournament like this, especially against TopaV.
All right, well, let's look at it from the TopaV side of things as we take a look at TopaV's stat card here. Once in love, what does TopaV need to get this victory against BigV?
I think Stoic said it almost perfectly. TopaV really needs to come outside the box. He's been very, very classic with the Gani Hathor, Sierra, the double speed leads with the Yunhong. I think he needs to be willing to take risks, big risks. He needs to pop in units that people don't regularly see him pick on stream, and he just needs to go for it.
All right, well, we'll see what Tommy Boy is able to pull out this time as these two competitors ready to go onto the arena. Who will get the victory and move on? Let's find out. BigV and TopaV, their America's Cup on the line right now. Stoic and One's Love, take it away.
Here we go, guys. BigV and TopaV. With all the experience behind TopaV, can he get himself on a little edge here with this first victory against BigV? We have Gianna and Yunhong getting pre-banned out.
So BigV getting first pick advantage here in the best of 3 series. It's going to be a little bit tougher for Topa. I think the Sierra is going to come out first, or maybe another Okeanos. We've been seeing a lot of that this tournament.
Definitely a CR first pick coming out of BigV, taking that speed lead away from TopaV. Now, TopaV has before shown a Vanessa that he likes to draft just to have that speed lead in his pocket. I'm curious if we're going to be seeing a Vanessa coming out of TopaV once again, but we've seen what he's going to be first picking after seeing CR coming out.
I'm actually hoping Topa doesn't take that Vanessa. I think in a draft like this against BigV, it's too stationary. It doesn't give him enough opportunity to breathe and move around. The water Ryu will be a lot stronger for him. There he does it. He leans back into the classic composition. We see the Gani Hathor immediate picks. Don't really like that when Okeanos and Chiwu are both on the field. And there it is, BigV taking Okeanos and Chiwu immediately.
Yep, that's right. And BigV, you see how quick he answered. That Chiwu and that Okeanos came out immediately. He saw the Gani Hathor, and this is where already it's just not looking very great for TopaV. BigV's confident, and it showed in how fast he drafted those units.
Topa taking that turn 2 setup, takes the Juno alongside the Lulu. Not really a big fan of the Juno Hathor combo here. The dots, if the immunity does come up, is not the greatest. It does wake up your units.
Well, it looks like BigV is going to be bringing that Nikki to the table, and he's showing a Kinky. He does lock in the Kinky. TopaV, I think, needing a little bit of damage behind his draft right now.
Topa needs to draft accordingly here. Knows he has to ban the Kinky. Whatever comes out last is most likely getting banned on his side. Topa looking to be drafting at a disadvantage here. Kinky very, very strong for BigV. Doesn't do, with all these supports up, you can't really kill a Kinky.
No, you really can't, but he's going to be trying to kill it with that Mo Long, and I think that Mo Long's already definitely looking like a ban. Takes the Mo Long back, and we're going to be seeing an Annabelle coming out here.
You like the Annabelle pick a lot more than the Mo Long. I really like the slow debuff alongside the 3-turn defense break. It does work really well with the supports here. So I'm calling a Kinky ban here, and then most likely going to see the Annabelle.
Oof. Well, it looks like CR and the Annabelle are going to be banned out here. Is the confident BigV going to get his first victory over TopaV? We're about to find out, guys, getting into the first round between TopaV and BigV.
I really hope that we have enough damage here for this Kinky, because this is a pretty scary matchup. We don't have any defense break opportunity. Nothing's really going to hold us back here.
Yeah, definitely not. Rain of Stone's coming out, not getting the stun on top of that Hathor, but I'm not too sure BigV's too worried about that. You see the third skill coming out of Nikki with the attack buff sitting right on top of this Kinky. We could be seeing a massive skill too, but choosing to go for the skill one on top of that Ganymede.
That was actually an incredible amount of damage that came out for that Nikki. Nikki dropping that Juno down to like the 30% range. I'm surprised BigV didn't just go for it and try to get the kill on the Juno there.
Well, Juno looking to get some strips here, not getting strips on 2 units, not at all what TopaV wanted to see.
Does have the opportunity, probably wants to lean in towards killing this Lulu so no healing, sustain comes out, but maybe just going straight for the Ganymede. Ganymede does still have skills available, so it is a pretty good opportunity. The big damage, that must be a crit damage Nikki.
That's a lot of damage coming out of this Nikki, and we do have a second skill primed and ready, but he chooses to just drop it with the first skill with the Kinky. Not looking good for TopaV.
TopaV doesn't quite have the damage, and losing that Ganymede means less rotations and less healing here. He's gonna have to find a way to deal with this Nikki and the Kinky. Needs to kill the Nikki with the Juno here.
Yeah, definitely a scary match for TopaV. Death Break sitting on top of that Hathor, not where he wants to see that. Chiwu looking to deal some serious damage to Hathor. Hathor still alive after that.
Not a lot of damage coming out from this Juno, though. We're seeing 1.7k crits. The additional damage is just not quite there what we need her to be. We need her in that 2.2k range to really deal with units like this.
Yeah, especially that Kinky. It's a very, very tanky unit, and he needs to try and get as much additional damage as possible, but that unit will revenge, and that is the scary part about a Kinky.
And it's going to have to be very reliant on Despair Runes, which is a little bit scary here. And there it is. The Violent Kinky shows, not on Despair. Doesn't need the Despair stuns, just lots of defense breaks coming out.
Yeah, there you have it. It's built on Violent, but it's just too much damage coming from Big V's side of the field. TopaV not having enough damage on his side of the field.
Big V unsure if he wants to go for it. I think it's worth it. The additional damage is good, regardless if you do stun the Juno and she gets the heal up.
It was definitely a good amount of damage coming from Okeanos onto that Juno. You're going to see a first skill going into the Juno. Let's see this damage coming out of Kinky. Not too bad going up against this tanky Juno.
And no defense break and still hitting for 3.5k. It's kind of scary. A lot of damage could come out here.
Yeah, it really is. There's that skill too, going right into it. Looking for the death break to capitalize. He gets the additional turn. He's able to drop that Juno. And there you have it. Big V getting that first victory over TopaV.
I really think Topa needs to change it up. I think the Gani Hathor is too far out of meta for something like this. If he wants to use something like that, he needs a lot of pressure. He needs to actually have that Kinky or have something that really pushes his whole team forward.
Well, we're going to see going into these pre-bans here. We might see a Kinky pre-ban coming on top of Big V, and we might just see a Gani pre-ban going at TopaV.
Perfect call. There it is. There's the Gani pre-ban. Speaking it like he's playing it himself. We see the Okeanos pre-ban on the other side. Okeanos being one of the most prevalent monsters in this entire tournament. I think we've seen it as one of the most prevalent first picks, if not the most prevalent first pick.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, TopaV's got that first pick. He's going to be taking a 24 speed lead, so he's going to have a little bit of speed behind his back here. Big V looking to respond after seeing that Ciara.
Yeah, Ciara really strong here. Oki's gone. Probably isn't going to take the Hathor alongside the Gani Hathor combo. But most likely seeing a Lulu here.
Oh, Big V taking the Connell on the Savannah. TopaV. I really don't want to see a Gani Hathor coming out of it, but we are going to be seeing a Hathor and a Yunhong coming out of TopaV.
Oh, has to be careful. Needs the Yunhong for that turn one against the Gianna here. Big V with the super aggressive draft. I'm not actually sure if I like it too much. I think the Savannah's a little bit early of a pick, but you know, when you have the Gianna and you're able to slap that down in slot 4, it's pretty aggressive still.
All right, a little bit of a change of pace now. We're going to be seeing a Samath and a Barbara coming out in response to that Chiwu in the Gianna. But once again, Big V very quick to drafting that Chiwu in Gianna. He is comfortable drafting that as quick as he did.
I like this from Topa. I like the aggression. I think it works well for his playstyle. I know his runes have the ability to really take that turn one. High base speed unit 108 on Barbara here. We got the I believe 116 on the Yunhong. So even without that 33 lead, will most likely take turn one.
Yeah, we might be seeing a speed lead ban on top of the Chiwu here. TopaV kind of wants to get the edge on him and maybe get that Hathor rolling, or is Big V going to be possibly banning out that Hathor?
A little scary for Topa here. Big V recognizes he won't be able to take turn one, so he picks, I assume, 4 units who have immunity here when only 2 reliable and 1 unreliable single target strip comes out.
Well, bans are out. We've got Connell getting banned out, and we have Yunhong getting banned out. 33 speed lead for TopaV. Is this going to help him get an edge on top of Big V? We're about to find out as we get into round 2 with TopaV and Big V.
There it is. So we see the immunity on 3 units. This first turn's going to be really important. Needs to land the strip, but doesn't land it.
No strip coming out of that Barbara. Chiwu looking for some strip and attack bar pushback here. Gets a full team strip on top of TopaV. Bomb does land on top of CR and cycling a little bit of attack bar with that Gianna.
Really needed the strip on there. Really fast Barbara. Might just not be on a high crit build.
Ooh, you could see big damage coming out onto that Hathor. Chung Pong with a huge third skill, reducing the attack bar. It's just not looking good for TopaV at all.
And TopaV really gambled on that Barbara.
Definitely gambled on that Barbara for sure. Big V with the big victory over TopaV.
There it is, Big V, a dominant victory here over TopaV. I mean, goodness gracious, like Nikki just putting out the damage in that match number 1, and it's crazy to think, like, man, 1 unit being super tuned correctly, and the draft played out basically how you called it, right? It was very, very standard from TopaV. You're thinking maybe his runes will come through for him. Not exactly the case here. And again, Once in Love, one more time as we take a look at the highlights again. I kind of just want to get your thoughts on how this one played out.
Yeah, it's really hard when you're trying to rely on your rune quality when everyone in the tournament is kind of like at that level, right? Everyone's at that same level. There's a lot of strength here. TopaV didn't really draft anything to deal with the Kinky, so I was really shocked by no Kinky ban in this situation. And Nikki with the crit damage, though, definitely caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. I think BigV's draft overall in both games was really, really effective. I really like Topa's draft in the second game, but it just didn't pan out, not getting the 2 crits on the Barber there. He really needed that push, really needed to be able to control in the first turn.
Yeah, Stoic, I mean, again, another match where it felt like it was over before it really got started. What could have TopaV done to slow down BigV there? Or was there anything he could have done?
I mean, you never know what he has in store, you know, things that you had prepared going into the tournament. And I think that's what it comes down to, is this is what TopaV possibly had prepared for the tournament, maybe what he had prepared for BigV. But BigV clearly showing that 70% win rate that he has, he knows what he's doing. It's so much easier when you can look at this game and only have to worry about RNG when you've nailed your draft and you can almost predict what your opponent's going to be drafting here.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it felt like it did with the Ganymede ban there. And, you know, Once in Love, what does this mean for BigV moving forward? You know, he does have another tough matchup against, I believe it's Michaelyan when we take a look at the bracket here. But that felt like a performance worthy of someone that would have won at least one match in his preliminaries, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I think looking at BigV's draft and his playstyle actually has one of the bigger advantages over playing Michaelyan versus any of the other competitors here. Mainly because Michaelyan is well known for this turn 2 playstyle, very safe, heal based. But, you know, on BigV's side, we have a lot of aggression. We have the Gianna. We also have the Nikki, which is fairly effective against Molly comps because of the heal block. So I do think that BigV will actually prevail over Michaelyan here.
All right, well, there you have it, the early prediction before we even get into that matchup. But it is BigV getting the victory 2-0 over TopaV, and that's another player and one of our first members from last year's America's Cup group saying goodbye to his opportunity to move on to 2021. All right, now we got our next matchup. It's another big one here because we've got a former champion of the America's Cup, drmzjoseph, up against the upstart Duhstin here as well. Duhstin did not have the greatest luck in his first matchup, wasn't able to get over the hump, and now we're going to see if he's going to be able to bounce back here. Held back his draft a little bit more here in season 17, as you see the rank tank a little bit, but has units to play through. And again, Duhstin just looking for his first victory here in the preliminary, Stoic.
Yeah, he definitely is. I think he's got a pretty tough opponent going up ahead with drmzjoseph here. drmzjoseph looking pretty strong going into the match, but I think this is exactly what we need to see, is that creativity. If Duhstin can show something that drmzjoseph is not going to be ready for, I think the match could favor Duhstin going into this one here.
Yeah, I was looking at my notes from last week here on my card, and it says, Shizzy bans Duhstin's Yunhung. And that was really like kind of one of the main things that Shizzy did. And we already know, Shizzy made it to America's Cup. He was the first one to qualify. So maybe a good strategy there. You saw Yunhung being used by Duhstin on both sides there as we take a look at drmzjoseph now, the other side of the bracket here. And Once in Love, drmzjoseph, again, a long-standing member of this America's Cup competitive community, doing it time and time again. What more can we say about this young man, even though he's in the losers bracket?
So something really cool to see about drmzjoseph is that he's a super creative player, right? Alongside, you know, Fame Memory and such, he has a very unique way of drafting and really playing for the ladder. So if you see on the bottom there for the season 17, you see the Cadiz pick. That's actually most likely a, you know, low crit build against the Molong Lulu text because it does strip. So I'd be interested to see if drmzjoseph has really fast techniques prepared for Duhstin.
Yeah, I guess we will have to wait and see. Again, one of these players will not be making it out of the group stage and won't be making it the next step here at the preliminaries. Again, the tough part of preliminaries day number 3 in a double elimination bracket. When you're down on the bottom side of the bracket, you got to pull everything out to make sure you come through. And now one of these two guys will be the ones doing exactly that. Will it be Duhstin or will it be the former champ drmzjoseph? Let's find out together. Stoic and Once in Love, let's get into our third match of the day.
Here we go, guys. Duhstin and drmzjoseph. Can the previous champion, drmzjoseph, get the edge on Duhstin? We're about to find out as we get into the pre-bans.
Looking like it. So far today, first pick has been a pretty hefty advantage for a lot of people. Not sure if it's the nerves going on with them, but drmzjoseph, we know, is a very, very strong contender. The first pick advantage for him will be pretty significant. Leaning towards that Sierra first pick here.
Definitely some strong pre-bans as well. Yan Hong and Fire Bison being banned out, also known as Conald. DrmzJoseph locking in that Okeanos, who we see first pick so many matches. Duhstin hovering over Ciara.
A hard 50-50 trying to decide if they're going to pick Okeanos or Ciara. Not sure which player values which one more, but it seems like DrmzJoseph really valuing the additional damage there from Okeanos on that skill 3.
And it looks like Duhstin's going to wrap up his first picks there with a Hay Gang to go alongside his 24 speed lead Ciara. DrmzJoseph looking to respond.
We see Fire Bison banned. Not sure if I actually like the early Hay Gang pick. I think it's a bit too much of a giveaway, possibly, but it is pretty safe either way for Duhstin.
Ooh, very fire heavy for DrmzJoseph. We're looking at a Vanessa next to a Masha.
Very aggressive draft here. Most likely going to see a Barber coming out, possibly a Fran as well from DrmzJoseph. Duhstin leaning towards DrmzJoseph basically wants to deny him the Chungpong pick. Masha's very good into that as long as alongside the triple fire there. Duhstin could lean to a Lulu, play the turn 2, could very well pick up a Water Ryu and go very aggressive here.
It looks like he's hovering over Lulu, and he does lock in that Chungpong, even though he's got those fire damage dealers on the side of DrmzJoseph.
No fear here from Duhstin. Duhstin goes in, knows he's confident on that draft, knows his Chungpong is very effective. DrmzJoseph saw it coming. He saw it coming 100%. And there it is. Diana and Molly, both great units against this AoE composition setup here.
Definitely great units indeed. DrmzJoseph with actually a very strong draft with Diana and Molly wrapping it up here. Duhstin looking to respond with his last pick.
I think Duhstin's a little scared right now. It's not a lot you can do to pick something that's not going to get immediately banned right here.
And he's going to be going with Fire Ryu to wrap up his draft. Now, Duhstin played this up against Shizzy, and he got pretty far with it. Curious if it's going to work out against DrmzJoseph, or it's just going to get the boot in this match.
Maybe we can believe a little more in it. No Carnal, and the Lulu is on Duhstin's side, so he does have a little bit of advantage with the Fire Ryu there. It's hard for me to choose a ban here for Duhstin, though, because almost everything is a good ban on this side.
Yeah, these are one of those tough matches that we've seen. And Vanessa's getting banned out. That 33 speed lead none of them want to see, or the 24 speed lead. Attack lead on the side of Duhstin. Is Duhstin going to have enough firepower to take out DrmzJoseph? We're about to find out as we get into our first match with Duhstin and DrmzJoseph.
DrmzJoseph really going to have to lean in and take out this Lulu early on. Without taking out the Lulu, it's just going to be too hard to fight through the Fire Ryu with immunity.
Okeanos being very quick to get that reset on top of Chungpong. Chungpong with just a first skill for attack bar pushback, and he's aiming it towards Masha.
That glancing, though, pretty valuable here against the Masha. Denies the Masha the opportunity for the defense break into the water, or Fire Ryu, excuse me. Okay.
Yep, and Diana going right in for some big damage on top of that Chungpong. Masha trying to deal as much damage as she can with that glancing effect. Diana looking for a stun, and Lulu's going to be here to heal him up.
Duhstin's in a pretty favorable position now, actually. We didn't see the Fire Ryu ban, so it's going to be kind of rough for DrmzJoseph. He has to fight pretty heavily uphill, and we'll see how much damage this Fire Ryu can deal while Molly's still in the field.
Well, Fire Ryu trying to tag it out that Masha. Masha about 50% right now. Chungpong with only a first skill, possibly looking for a proc to throw out a second skill if he can.
Yeah, the match really comes down to two pretty strong beasts. Duhstin needs to rotate this Fire Ryu and take down this Masha before the defense break opportunity comes up. Big thing that's going to take down that Fire Ryu is Masha's defense break alongside the additional damage from Okeanos.
No, Diana trying to do all she can to drop this Chungpong here. Does drop the Chungpong.
Duhstin looking a little scared here now. Chungpong is gone, so no resets, no attack bar pushback, no control. Still has that Lulu Fire Ryu. Pretty strong setup here.
Definitely a strong setup indeed. Possibly looking to stay on top of that Masha, even though it was just shielded up, and he's choosing to go for the Okeanos instead.
This Diana pick very, very strong into the Lulu. I think it's going to be what actually wins this matchup for DrmzJoseph here.
There's a first skill going into the Hay Gang. Can't pass over that attack buff there. Lulu possibly just going to heal up and remove that debuff sitting on top of the Hay Gang.
Hay Gang pretty effective in this situation, actually. Does gain attack bar for the whole team when Okeanos cleanses on skill 1 alongside the Molly skill 2 cleanse.
Diana looking to pummel some serious damage into Hay Gang. Hay Gang still standing tall, though.
pretty high damage Diana here. Oh, and the extra turn, Diana's gonna really rip the damage out. Hagang might go down this turn.
Not at all what Duhstin wanted to see there. No one wants to see a Diana proc, and Diana has enough damage to drop that Hagang. Lulu's gonna be all alone with this Fire Ryu.
Be careful though. If he kills the Lulu a little too early, he's gonna go into a lot of counters here.
Yep, most definitely. Trying to get a reset on top of that Lulu. We've got a big second skill coming out of this Fire Ryu, possibly onto the Okeanos.
Very scary setup for Duhstin though. Doesn't have any skills in his Lulu. The defense break comes out, hits the Fire Ryu.
Massive damage onto that Fire Ryu. Has got first skill trying to heal it up as much as possible. Does he choose to transform with the Diana? And he chooses to do the shields instead.
The additional damage from Oki will rip through that Fire Ryu, even through the glancing, and that's going to be it.
That is definitely going to be it. drmzjoseph taking round 1 away from Duhstin.
I'm not a big fan of the Chung Pung there into the triple fire. We knew that drmzjoseph really wanted to deny that Chung Pung pick, but Duhstin said, I'm going to take it anyways, went for it, and, you know, a little bit, definitely playing an uphill battle on that side.
Most definitely playing an uphill battle, not in Duhstin's favor whatsoever, but he's looking to get his second match up against drmzjoseph to possibly be in his favor, having his LD Nat 5 this time.
I think for a lot of the players in the tournament today, what we're going to need to see is we're going to need to see people getting out of their comfort zone. We're seeing a lot of very standard drafting here, a lot of things that people pick on ladder, and it's just not working out for them today. You know, if you lose that first round, maybe it's time to swap things up. Maybe it's time to pick those pocket picks you've always been waiting for.
Well, pre-bans are coming out here. Looks like that Nyx and Ciara getting pre-banned going into this round 2.
Nyx pre-ban. Nyx is a pretty scary unit. Honestly, didn't know Duhstin had a Nyx. I haven't seen him use it in any of the matches so far, but there it is. The Sierra pre-ban, very effective on Duhstin's side.
And the Okeanos getting first pick from Duhstin and quickly responds with a Lulu and Connell coming out of drmzjoseph.
drmzjoseph very confident today, knows exactly what he wants. Knew the Okeanos was coming out, was ready immediately to lock in the Lulu Carnal there.
Both these players fairly picking fairly fast. And we've got Yanhong Molong coming out for Duhstin. drmzjoseph looking to respond with a Vanessa and a Chung Pung.
I like the Chung Pung here. It's actually fairly effective into this. I would be very interested to see if drmzjoseph went back to this 2017 meta here and last picked a Triana to deny that Molong opportunity.
We've seen him draft a Triana a whole lot last year, so I'm curious to see if we're going to be seeing it going here with a Triana-Vanessa combination out of drmzjoseph. Duhstin favoring that Water Ryu once again.
Yeah, really like Duhstin picking the Fire Ryu there, very strong, and has the Molly to go alongside it, so has a lot of denial on this AoE-CC, probably not leaning towards a ban on the Carnal or the Chung Pung here, but remember what happened with Shizzy. You know, the Carnal Lulu combination really took him down, so maybe a little PTSD, you might have to ban out that Carnal.
Yeah, we'll see. Going into round 2 with drmzjoseph and Duhstin here. drmzjoseph possibly locking in the Barbara, signaling that he's going to be letting this Fire Ryu through.
Oh, if he does lock in that Barbara, Duhstin's going to have to ban it. Has no choice. It's very effective against everything on his team, and it is a very strong single target strip.
And you couldn't be more correct. Barbara's getting banned out. Molong is getting banned out.
Duhstin with the resist lead, 33 speed lead on the other side.
Well, can Duhstin resist drmzjoseph getting into round 2? We're about to find out, guys. Can Duhstin get a victory over drmzjoseph?
Liking the quad will here. Very effective, very fast units too. We see this Chung Pung and the Carnal being really effective up there.
Yeah, there's that skill 2 strip, boosting up his attack bars here. Okeanos coming up next. The big skill 2 possibly onto the Chung Pung.
I think go for the Chung Pung, wants to deny the speed down. Chung Pung not too scary in this current setup. We do have both the Molly and the Fire Ryu.
Yeah, there's that third skill coming out of Chung Pung. We're trying to reduce some attack bars here. See that Revenge once again coming out of Fire Ryu. No provoke happening on top of Yanhong.
This Lulu's going to be pretty effective for drmzjoseph, though. Being able to deny the branding effect from the counter on Fire Ryu is very strong.
Vanessa landing that death break on top of Yanhong. I'm not too sure Yanhong's really going to worry too much about that. Fire Ryu. He's going to be putting his eyes on somebody, and it is going to be Chung Pung here.
Very tanky Chung Pung as well, about 35, 36k HP there. Takes a 10k hit, only chips him a little bit.
Chung Pung looking for some attack bar pushback on top of that. Yanhong gets it. No provoke coming out of this Connell.
drmzjoseph playing it very, very safe, very consistent. Wants to make sure that he doesn't take too much unnecessary damage from the Fire Ryu counter there.
Some additional turns coming out of Vanessa, choosing a new focus here, and it's going to be the Molly.
A little bit scary, though. Vanessa is going to have a defense breakup, so we're going to have to see some Okeanos control. Maybe we see the skill 3 heal here into Fire Ryu, but no, he decides to hold on to it.
Yeah, trying to get that glancing on top of that Vanessa to limit the damage coming out of it. We're going to see a Rain of Stones with just the 2 units on the field. Choosing not to. Goes to the first skill into the Vanessa.
Missing all the defense breaks, though. Chungpong not very effective into the Molly aside the 2 fire units there. Only has a 30% chance not to glance.
That's right, and that's why Molly is so effective up against this Chungpong. And we've got Vanessa trying to do all she can right now, looking for that Death Break on top of Yan Hong. Not able to capitalize the Death Break with the additional turn there.
Sword Rain comes out. We do see 2 slows, though. 2 pretty important slows. No slow on the Molly means Molly's still going to get a lot of healing out here.
Definitely. We're going to see a big skill, too, coming onto that Vanessa. Vanessa with a branding effect, but it's not too worried with this Lulu here cleansing everything up.
Duhstin needs to pull out the luck cards. This Vanessa manages to take another Violent Proc every single turn. She goes twice. The Fire Ryu not countering skill 2 into skill 1. A little bit unlucky here for Duhstin.
You know, a lot of additional turns coming out of the Vanessa, and you can see the miss reset on top of that Chungpong coming from Okeanos.
A little tragic. It looks like Okeanos is taking a page out of Sierra's book, learning how to miss all of her skills.
Connell finally landing a provoke. It does land on top of this Yan Hong. Yan Hong not able to do anything unless, of course, he gets that additional turn. You can see that cleanse and more healing going on top of Vanessa.
Yan Hong going down here is going to be pretty bad for Duhstin. Needs a turn rotation, and there it is. Vanessa again with the defense break into the Fire Ryu as well. This is a bad setup. It's not looking good for Duhstin.
It's not looking good at all. Vanessa can't stop and won't stop with the additional turns. Defense break sitting on top of that Fire Ryu. Not looking good at all. Molly hoping for some additional turns to heal up his team here.
No cleansing effect. Does get the additional turn. Has to wait 1 more, though, to cleanse this defense break.
Definitely. Provokes are not landing at all. That resistance lead actually being pretty strong right now for Duhstin. Does get a couple stuns on top of Connell and that Chungpong.
This Vanessa is an unstoppable wall. No stun from the Okeanos to deny her. And there she is. She goes for the defense break on Okeanos, but misses it. A lot of damage coming out, though. Still pretty scary for Duhstin, but he is able to cleanse off the defense break here.
Yes, he is trying to cleanse off that defense break, and here it comes. A little less to worry about, having a nice shield on top of that Fire Ryu. Heals are coming out on top of Chungpong. Vanessa finally not proccing, dealing some damage to this Okeanos.
No crit. Things might be swinging in Duhstin's favor. He could be getting that luck card we were talking about.
Yep, could be for sure. There's that first skill going into Chungpong. Connell with a big primed and ready 3rd skill. Can he get anything from it?
Very little, though, very little, and Cardinal goes down, and it's not looking good now. Duhstin with the upper hand. The Fire Ryu really managing to outlast DrmzJoseph's team.
That's exactly what's going to be happening here. This Molly's able to keep all the debuffs off and so much healing. We've got this Fire Ryu just pummeling so much damage into DrmzJoseph.
Lulu very effective with the immunity there. Does deny a lot of the extra damage that comes out of Fire Ryu. DrmzJoseph with the Vanessa could actually kill Duhstin, though. Does still have the opportunity here with the defense broken Fire Ryu.
Gonna deal some damage, and deals massive damage with that first skill onto Vanessa.
Scared to get the Vanessa revenge, so goes for the skill 1 with the Fire Ryu. Tries to attack break that that Vanessa there, so she is more likely to glance.
So much damage coming out of this Fire Ryu. Looking to drop the Chungpong, and does so. We're going to see a 3rd skill with immunity coming up. Molly possibly looking for an additional turn to heal up even more. Not receiving an additional turn here.
DrmzJoseph playing it a little bit too safe. Needed to put a little more aggression into that Fire Ryu when he had the opportunity. Very, very scary setup here, but does have the revive for the Lulu. Oh, my apologies. A revive for the Cardinal.
Cardinal's going to be the unit coming out here. Is he able to heal this unit back up to full? And he is. Duhstin's got 1 more unit to worry about again.
The attack going up and the HP going down. A lot of damage comes up from Fire Ryu. Almost takes him out.
Massive damage into that Connell. Connell does stay alive, but he's going to get put down very quickly by the Molly.
No defense break again from the Vanessa. The resistance lead really showing a lot of value here. Molly with the max resist.
Yeah, Molly with that max resistance for sure, able to resist all these defense breaks and more damage coming from this Vanessa. Lulu looking to heal up here. Back to Vanessa looking very healthy. Looking for a defense break, does land it. The cleanse is there and waiting.
Vanessa with the 1 HP, it's not looking good. Duhstin's really got a lot of value here. It's going to be enough to take him down.
Both players looking for so many additional turns coming out of their support units right next to their fire damage deals. But I think this first skill is going to deal a lot of damage. No additional damage right there. And Vanessa does hold on.
She's able to revive again. We see it. Here comes the Carnal. Carnal's back. Doesn't have any skills. Not a lot of value this time.
Kano possibly needs to land a provoke to help direct this attention of the Fire Ryu. Fire Ryu once again shutting down the Kano. We got Molly trying to shut down this Vanessa. Vanessa still alive here with a big second skill. Choosing not to go for second skill and just first skilling the Molly.
Joseph keeps playing this safe, but really needs to kind of YOLO it in. Needs to throw the defense break on the Fire Ryu and get a violent proc for a kill, but doesn't do it. Keeps holding on, wants to revive again.
This Vanessa's trying so hard, so many additional turns. He needs to capitalize off a defense break sitting on top of this Fire, and he's not gonna have it. Duhstin finally getting that unit down. It is just a lonely Lulu. Is DreamsJoseph really gonna hang into this match?
DreamsJoseph going for the draw, has the potential. Fire Ryu into Lulu is not a lot of damage, but even at 70%, a missed crit is still half your HP.
That's right, this Fiery just with so much damage behind it, but these massive heals coming out of Lulu. DreamsJoseph trying to go for the draw here, but this huge damage coming out of this Fiery was just so intense.
Lulu's just a little bit too slow. Oh, it actually does steal the turn, but Fiery does have skill too, and there it is. No crit, no extra hit. Molly going in for the extra turn, chipping away at the Lulu.
Molly trying to get anything possible, removing all this immunity here, and Fiery finally taking down that Lulu. Duhstin answering back and getting round 2 victory over DreamsJoseph.
I almost thought we were going to have a repeat of the APAC match where we saw the Molly versus Lulu, but it seems like Duhstin was able to hang in there, bring it back. Really wanted to see DreamsJoseph bring the Vanessa in for some big damage. I think he should have taken the opportunity once it hit the 50% HP attack mark. Really could have just one-shot that Fire Ryu with the right setup.
Yeah, really, definitely. I really didn't want to see a Molly Lulu match for sure, but it was exciting seeing that Fire Ryu going at it. I'm surprised we're not seeing a Fire Ryu ban going into round 3. What we're seeing is a Yanhong Kanal ban.
DreamsJoseph doesn't want to give up turn 1 to Duhstin. We're most likely seeing that Okeanos again like we did before. Both players trading the Okeanos first pick.
Yep, Okeanos first pick for DreamsJoseph. Duhstin possibly looking to respond with a Ciara and maybe take the Vanessa away from DreamsJoseph.
It could definitely take away the Vanessa from DreamsJoseph. Not the biggest fan of it, mainly just because the two stationary speed leads together are not super strong. It is a little bit telling of what you want to take for your draft. I think it'd be interesting to see if Duhstin actually goes for another Fire Ryu pick in this game.
Looks like Duhstin's going to be leaning towards some immunity. He's going to be drafting Fran, and we've got DreamsJoseph. He is staying so fire heavy. We're going to be seeing a Vanessa and a Masha coming out again for DreamsJoseph.
I really like this Fran pick, though. Duhstin denying something that DreamsJoseph is known well for taking, Beast Riders alongside the Fran, and, you know, doesn't go too wind heavy early on.
I do like this more coming out of Duhstin. I think this Water Ryu more is an excellent unit for all these fire damage dealers on the side of DreamsJoseph.
Most definitely. We could even see a Barbara here, Duhstin taking it away from DreamsJoseph.
And Duhstin bringing something that DreamsJoseph probably was not prepared for. We've got a Cian coming out for Duhstin. I do like this draft.
Very strong objective draft here. DreamsJoseph has to either take turn 1 and reset it or play very safe against it. Duhstin very ready for this.
DreamsJoseph possibly going with the Chunk Punk, and he goes for a Lulu Diana draft instead. Are we going to see the Molly coming out for Duhstin here?
Might be the first time we see DreamsJoseph a little shaky on the draft there. Unsure what he wants to take, but at the end does lock in the Lulu Diana. Very consistent, very strong combination. Duhstin here could take the Chunk Pong or go for a strong fire unit.
Definitely goes for a strong fire unit. He goes for a unit that is the most banned unit in SWC in Summoner's War, and it is Rika, the 5th pick.
We're definitely seeing the Lulu gone. On Duhstin's side, I think we might actually see the Sion gone, actually. Not a lot of ways to deal with it, knowing the Lulu is going to go away.
Let's see what these bans are going to be, because I think the signal's a ban on the Lulu, but we're about to find out what this ban is, and it is a Lulu and Rika ban.
Definitely scary for DreamsJoseph here.
Definitely scary indeed. But we are in a game 3. We need to put our worries aside and our game faces on. Let's go. DreamsJoseph and Duhstin in our match 3.
Oh, Okeanos does land the reset, the most crucial one he needed for this match. So this is a good setup now. DrmzJoseph has a lot of opportunity to take down Duhstin. The Sion could go down in an early turn.
Definitely indeed. We're looking for a big strip coming out of that. More not receiving that reset on top of the Vanessa. Shields up for the Diana.
Duhstin's going to have to control the Diana here with a bunch of bombs. Really needs to make sure the Diana can't rip through his Sion until he's able to get another turn on it.
Yeah, DrmzJoseph not able to cleanse any of these bombs, and Ciara really having a better day today, landing that bomb on top of Masha. Vanessa doing exactly what she does, and that is violent proc.
Takes the extra turn. No stun on the Masha, though. A little unfortunate here, but does manage to proc out of his defense break. Duhstin again in a safe position.
Duhstin definitely in a safe position, looking to put that bomb on Diana. Called a caster's curse, but that bomb did miss on top of Diana.
A little bit unfortunate here for Duhstin. Gonna take a lot of damage. Needs to knock Masha off the mountain. Does, and the attack break as well.
Duhstin does dismount that Vanessa. You got to keep in mind he needs to reset the Vanessa so that he doesn't have to worry about Masha coming back on the beast.
DrmzJoseph in a bit of an awkward position here. Needs to deal with 2 units at once. Needs to take down the Sierra, but also alongside it, take down the Sion.
Defense break sitting on top of Ciara right now, but he does have the cleanse with that Fran. Rain of Stones coming out on top of Duhstin's unit, trying to eliminate that Ciara as quick as possible.
Pretty big damage coming out here, so I'm most likely Ciara will go down to the Diana on this turn, but then we have 2 turns for the Sion, so we got to protect it.
Attack break does land on top of Diana, but Diana's not going to be carrying at all. We're going to see a big skill, too, going out onto Ciara, looking to remove this unit from the field. Duhstin not able to revive back units here, choosing to go for the CN instead.
Actually, a pretty smart play here. Believes that even with his attack break, or correct me if I'm wrong, does manage to kill both units regardless here.
It didn't matter at all. DrmzJoseph dropping that CR, dropping that CN, not looking good for Duhstin. He just has this Fran and a lonely Moa.
Yeah, DrmzJoseph having this incredibly high damage Diana here. Managed to take out the Sierra with skill 1 there with the 9.5k.
Definitely a high damage Diana indeed, and this is going to be the right unit to be eliminating this more from the field. Not looking good at all for Duhstin.
Yeah, Duhstin has a lot of damage on this Water Ryu. High damage, I believe high crit damage as well as the additional damage, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
That was a massive Despair stun on top of that Diana, but he's got to know that the Vanessa passive is still up. Diana with the additional turn, getting those shields up. Okeanos just trying to poke in as much damage as possible.
Oh, another value Despair stun, though. Oh, the defense break could come up from Vanessa. Doesn't hit it, though, the glancing.
No defense break coming out of Vanessa at all, but Vanessa just violent procking like usual. Moore trying to eliminate this Diana from the field, but Diana with a beautiful stun on top of Moore. We've got Masha trying to deal as much damage here as well. Vanessa up here trying to deal as much damage as well. Not looking good at all for Duhstin.
Yeah, no passive. That stun was really effective, and Diana's going to be able to get an extra turn here. Swap forms and take out that Moore, and it's looking pretty much over for Duhstin.
Definitely looking over indeed. DrmzJoseph taking round 3 away from Duhstin with all that power behind his draft.
All right, well, there it is. You guys touched on it. We said at the top there, DrmzJoseph, one of the more unique drafters in the game, one of the minds of the game. In that final draft, looked flustered, rolling with the triple fire first couple of picks, or first triple picks, and then just actually uses brute force with the Diana. That was not necessarily like, hey, I'm going to outdraft you. It's like, hey, I've outplayed you. I've been to every single America's Cup that I've participated in, and he still has that opportunity, does DrmzJoseph here, Ones in Love.
Yeah, he really did. I really liked the triple fire draft. It's a very uncommon thing to see, and it's generally a weaker thing, but against Duhstin, when you have the pre-ban opportunity and the first pick, is very, very effective. You can deny the Chung Pong, you can deny the Diana pick, and then you can take it on your own.
Stoic, this Fire Ryu was just doing everything to get Duhstin over the line. Doesn't go back to it in draft number 3. What do you think about that?
I don't think he went back to it because he figured DrmzJoseph knew it was going to be coming back. And I think Duhstin understands the importance of trying to be as creative and surprising as possible. And we saw that going into that third match where he turned the tables on DrmzJoseph, bringing in a CN, where honestly, if that Okeanos had missed that reset on top of CN, we might be seeing a different result at this moment. But Okeanos did land that reset on top of Cyan, and drmzjoseph's moving forward because of it.
Yeah, what a great match that was. Just because, again, like I was just thinking about it. I was trying to prepare for game number 2 for Duhstin. It felt like everything wasn't going his way. You know what it's like when, like, man, I'm not getting my procs, man, I'm not landing anything. And then he was able to get that comeback, and you're like, you feel this welling of a turn here. Like there's going to be a comeback. You're expecting it to come down and happen. And then you look at the draft and you're like, wow, this isn't too bad of a draft here in draft number 3 for Duhstin. But then again, coming back towards things not quite landing, and drmzjoseph able to get some of those procs there with Okeanos, and it just changed everything. So, man, what a great game there for those that truly love RTA and the arena aspect of Summoner's War. But it will be drmzjoseph moving on over Duhstin after a valiant effort by Duhstin. He will have the opportunity to move on through against Zefarious in the best of 5 qualification bracket, which means we've got ourselves one more. There's one more opening match here on the bottom side of the bracket. It's Jsss against Tiger. And Jsss, again, a feared player. Tiger, a champion in his own right back in 2017. These two players, only one of them can move on through. And again, we see it with that rank there at the bottom, hiding the drafts, easing up there during season 17. Once in love, thoughts on Jsss here?
I think Jsss has a pretty big advantage over Tiger. I've been watching a lot of Tiger matches lately, and it feels like Tiger's very locked into one playstyle. So with the SWC pre-ban mode, being able to take away his nicks is very effective. Jsss has a lot of different units he can draft around for his LDs as well as his counter picks. And in general, is just a very consistent player.
What do you think of this matchup, Stoic?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I feel like Tiger needs to start breaking from tradition. We've seen a lot of, familiar stuff coming out of Tiger, and I think Tiger needs to probably adjust more to what's happening, especially in like today's meta. I think Jsss is going to be bringing something maybe Tiger won't be ready for, and I think that's where Tiger needs to pivot a little bit better.
While we look at Tiger's stat card one more time, Once in Love, what is the key unit here that Tiger needs to bring for this match?
I think he needs to pick the Tianling. I think the Tianling is going to be very effective for him against Jsss. Any opportunity Jsss goes for kind of that big turn rotation gain, it has the Sierra or anything like that, it'll be really effective. Other than that, needs to keep his eye out for the Pontos. Pontos is a very effective drafting unit for Jsss, and honestly, doesn't really have a lot of ways to deal with it effectively.
All right, well, there you have it. Our experts have laid up exactly what should be breaking down in this next matchup. The final opportunity to make it through for one of these two gents happens right now. Jsss and Tiger. Hopefully they can follow up the action we've seen today. All right, Once in Love, Stoic for the final time in the best of 3 opening round. Let's get to it. The America's Cup preliminary day number 3.
You know it. Here we go. We've got Tiger. We've got Jsss. Can our 2017 New York champion win over Jsss, or can Jsss, the newcomer, get the edge over Tiger?
Jsss has first pick advantage, though. There goes the Nicks and the Nefthys, kind of the predictable pre-bans here for the first match. Jsss has the opportunity, could take the Sierra, could take the Okeanos. Not sure what he wants to take against Tiger, though.
Yep, definitely both LD Net 5s getting pre-banned here. Jsss with the first pick. What is he looking to take away from Tiger? And it is going to be that Okeanos, but look how quick Tiger was to respond with that Connell and Lulu.
Seeing flashbacks to last match, we see the Duhstin taking the Okeanos, and then drmzjoseph immediately locking in the Cardinal Lulu there.
Well, Jsss is looking at drafting this Pontos and one other unit up against Tiger here.
Yeah, here's the Pontos where we see Jsss known for. It's a very, very effective unit. We saw TrueWhale use it super effectively. We've seen it a lot in the Legend tournaments recently. Pontos having a super high win rate this season. Very effective unit.
Most definitely. We're going to be seeing a Mo Long paired up with this Pontos coming out of Jsss. Tiger looking to respond after seeing these two units.
A little bit scary here. Needs something to have that control. The invincibility for the Mo Long skill 3 is very dangerous. Mo Long getting a free skill 3 without losing any damage does allow him to also be on Violent instead of Vampire.
Speed lead coming out for Tiger as well, looking at drafting this Sierra.
Needs to pick something utility based along here that deals with the Pontos unless he's leaning for the ban.
And it looks like Chiwu is going to be that unit with the strip here for Pontos' buff, and also with the speed lead to help give Tiger 2 speed leads for his draft.
I really want Jsss to take Chung Peng to take it away from Tiger, but at the same time, we don't see that. Interesting. Tiger does have something prepared for the Pontos. There it is. the Water String Master to deny the buffs.
That is a very interesting pick there coming out of Tiger. I love to see this from him. This is something that I think everybody needed to see going in SWC. Being creative like this, that last pick coming out of Tiger. But JS, wrapping up his draft with another speed lead. Both these players competing for speed in the very powerful Asima.
JS a little bit unsure here if he wants to ban the Chiwu, but does go for it.
And it looks like Wateryu is going to be the ban and Chiwu is going to be the ban. Both 24 speed lead strippers getting banned out here, but we've got 24 speed leads for both these players. Can JS take a victory over Tiger getting into round 1, or can Tiger prove his experience?
Really, really, really like the way both players drafted at the end there. They really took the gamble into each other on what was going to happen. Oh, but the miss reset on Lulu is really bad. Needs the silence here, but doesn't hit it.
Does not get that silence at all. We're going to see some damage coming out of this Asima. Does he try to capitalize with one of his skills? Are we going to see a first skill coming out? We see that third skill come out on top of the Lulu. Reckless Assault is primed and ready. Can remove this Lulu from the field.
I think he has to go for it. Has to deny the Lulu any HP, any chance to live. Needs to play a 3v4 here.
Kano with a nice stun on top of this Okeanos, and you can see the additional turn coming out as well. Possible provokes going out here.
No extra value there from Tiger's Cardinal. Does not get anyone else with a slow debuff. Really needed to hit the slow there on the Pontos.
That's right. Mo Long's Reckless Assault was enough. Lulu's dropped here. Bomb sitting on top of Mo Long at the moment. We've got a third skill that can't actually go out.
Should put it out regardless, though, because I believe it will still cleanse either way. And there it is. Denies all the bomb damage. Denies the sleep, or the slow, sorry, and the stun.
Does get that cleanse off, removing that bomb from the field. Mo Long looking to lock some units down with that second skill. We got a rain of stones coming out of Okeanos, but it only lands on top of the Connell.
So I really like this Water String Master pick. I think it's really cool into the Pontos, but needed something else to follow it up. The whole team was just a little bit too slow there. JS's Mo Long managed to move before the whole team and deny the Lulu even any turns at all.
Yeah, definitely needed something. Getting some big stuns here.
Huge triple stun. The multi-hits do provide good additional damage. Tiger could be bringing it back right here. Has the opportunity, gets the bomb up. 2 bombs on JS.
Definitely could be bringing it back here. This Water String Master actually becoming very powerful for Tiger here. Looking for some glancing atop Pontos. Does land the glancing. We have Ciara may get an additional turn to get another bomb out here, and that would be huge.
Enough value from the Pontos. Pontos had the cleanse, but he really needed that immunity. He's going to get denied by the Cardinal for the extra turn.
We're going to see a String Master with the first skill into the Pontos. Pontos does resist. Bomb comes out and does not land on top of the Okeanos. Not at all what Tiger needed to see right now.
Oh, interesting, though. Tiger doesn't go for the skill one on the Okeanos. Knows he's going to move before the Pontos regardless.
And it doesn't matter here. Tiger is going to be taking round 1 away from JS.
That was a beautiful draft on both sides. We saw something where both players had, like a really strong trump card and forced the other player to guess which one they were banning. And in this situation, it actually favored Tiger pretty well. JS did get unlucky, but by missing that reset on the first turn. But overall, that was a very good draft from Tiger and something we're definitely been looking forward to for years.
Yeah, most definitely. It's so great to see String Masters actually being utilized in SWC. So great. It was a great job coming from Tiger. Honestly, it was a very entertaining first match with the two of them.
This is something we've been looking forward to seeing since the last time we saw Tiger at his prime. It looks like he's coming back with a vengeance.
That's right. We've got pre-bans locked and loaded. Looks like Wateryu is going to be pre-banned out here. And the Han from JS.
Tiger getting first pick here while a match up is really effective. Winning the match when you do not have first pick is a huge advantage for you in a best of 3 series.
It really is. Okeanos getting taken by Tiger here. JS possibly looking to respond, showing up Pontos as a first pick.
Possibly could lock in a double speed lead setup here. Could deny the Sierra immediately alongside taking the Pontos.
Yeah, most definitely could do that. But we've got the Mo Long being drafted by JS. It worked out for him last match. Could work out for him in this match as well.
So we know JS is very fast on this combination. Does have a really fast Mo Long setup here. But Tiger could have an even faster Okeanos. We have known Tiger in the past to have really fast runes.
Most definitely. Tiger has some excellent rune quality behind his units. Looks like he's going to be taking a Ciara here, drafting his own 24 speed lead.
Very possible JS could be drafting according to the concept of a Tian Lang pick as a last setup for Tiger. Maybe wants to avoid picking things that he would need that for. There it is. There's the Cardinal and the Lulu.
Yep, Tiger locking in double speed leads, but JS locking in that Fire Bison and that Lulu as well. A very strong combination. Fire Bison, Molong, Lulu. This is a strong comp that honestly a lot of people have seen.
Yeah, Lulu and friends here being an absolutely beautiful combination to set up alongside the Fire Bison or the Cardinal, depending on which one you have. But there it is. There's the Water String Master. She comes back again.
Yeah, Water String Master making another return. Obviously, it's going to be here just for this Pontos, and I think he's signaling he's letting the Pontos through. Diana's going to be wrapping up Tiger's draft here. JS looking to respond with one last pick.
JS, definitely a Rika pick opportunity here. Rika pick would be great. Ban that Song Seol. She's a very, very effective here at denying buffs from coming up. Denies both the Pontos and the Lulu.
JS really taking his time here, really thinking about this last pick. And it is going to be a Nephthys coming out of JS.
Doesn't need to pick the Rika. Has the effective CC unit there with the defense break and the glancing. And a second speed lead. A lot of opportunity here to challenge Tiger.
Yeah, definitely. Both players are going to get 24 speed leads here. I think they're both going to be competing for turn one. We're about to find out who is going to be taking that turn one between Tiger and JS.
JS's win condition here is to one-turn snipe the Song Seol, I believe.
I don't know if that's going to work out for him, but we might find out. Here we go, guys. We get that big strip coming out of that Chiwu. Is the Song Seol going to be playing that tune?
She does. Can't go for the skill 2. Can't take the risk not hitting the stuns or a violent proc from the Lulu or the Pontos.
Pontos with the additional turn, just trying to poke a little bit of damage into that Diana. Ciara with a bomb that can be coming out here. Does he choose to lock down that Lulu? And he is. The bomb's coming out on top of Lulu. He needs to detonate it or else it's just going to cleanse it up.
Pretty good damage, though. And the additional turn. More additional damage to rip through this Lulu. Lulu's in a scary place right now.
Definitely is. A lot of Lulus are built fairly tanky, and it's at 50% right now and stunned up. We've got Nephthys looking to get all these negative effects on top of that Ciara and Chiwu, but we've got Diana looking to cycle in some serious damage on top of that Lulu.
A little bit of a potential misplay here on JS's side. The 2 turns on his Pontos he actually used to skill 1 the Diana, not pushing her attack bar, but maybe it was more effective to make her move before the Nephthys. Would have been strong in that situation because the Nephthys would have the defense break and the glancing on the Diana.
There's the Reckless Assault going out onto Ciara. Chiwu is able to finish off that Lulu, trying to cycle some turns here, but that's really tough with the glancing. We're going to see maybe just the first skill going in with the second skill on top of Tiger's team here. Not really landing much.
Does get the silence on Ciara, but Ciara is going to go down regardless. Has a lot of value here with this Diana, just like we saw with DrmzJoseph. Diana going through, taking turns, taking apart units.
Definitely taking apart units indeed. Diana pummeling massive damage into this Molong. Going to be first scaling the Molong as well. Getting that stun. We're not going to be seeing this Molong for long.
It is nice to see, though, when she's in human form, she gets that additional turn. Denies her the opportunity to proc when in pony form. No extra turns there, but the stun comes out. Song Seol stuns the Nephthys.
Stuns up that Nephthys indeed, but there is that cleanse, and the buffs are coming up now that Song is no longer playing. We have Diana still primed and ready. She wants more turns. We're going to see who Tiger wants to take out first.
Most likely needs to take out the Pontos, but the resistance denies any damage. He keeps his immunity. He's the strong boy.
Massive resistance there. We're going to see a skill too. He really wants to try and remove these buffs possibly off the Pontos here.
Potentially could win this out, though, JS, if he does have enough damage on that Nephthys.
But he's going to be conceding here, and Tiger gets that victory over JS.
And there it is, your 2017 New York champion, hanging true, and the champs make it through. DrmzJoseph in that last matchup. Tiger in this matchup, able to get the better of, as you said, the newcomer, JS. Not quite able to do it today, wasn't quite able to get the procs. And, you know, Ones in Love, you talked about it a little bit. Maybe there in that set number 2, some misplay opportunities there for JS.
Yeah, I think JS could have pushed the Diana's attack bar so that Nephthys had the defense break, the silence, and the glancing. Would have protected his units for an extra turn there, possibly given him a bit of a safer route to go towards that Song Seol. I feel like in JS's draft, he needed to snipe out that Song Seol. She was denying everything that Pontos could do effectively, and it just protected Tiger Ciara for so long.
Yeah, Stoic, what did you see in this one here?
I saw creativity coming out of Tiger. This is exactly what we needed to see from him. Too many times we've seen a draft and it just felt too predictable and just not not very like a current. And he came in here drafting this Water String Master and brought something to the table that JS was just not prepared for. It was an excellent counter to a unit that JS kept bringing to the table, and that was that Pontos. Pontos not able to get any of those buffs up there, getting those massive stuns on JS's team. Tiger drafted excellent, he played excellent, and he won the match. He's moving forward today.
Yeah, and you love to see it when someone pulls out that creativity in their draft and it finds success. Sometimes it feels bad when it's like, hey, this feels pretty creative, and then it falls flat. But here, for Tiger, he's able to get it done as we take a look at the bracket one more time before we get into our closing matches here to see who will qualify on through. It's filled out. DanielKarioKa, the pride of Brazil. Fala dele, I'm doing it right now. We're talking exactly about him. He's going up against the America's Cup reigning champion, JMak. That's not going to be an easy task. BigV, dominant over TopaV, now has a big task on his hand with Michaelyan. Then drmzjoseph, he's been in every single America's Cup that he's participated in. It's 3 in a row. Can he make it 4? We'll find out against Zefarious. And then that last one, put it in pen, it's Tiger. That'll be up against one of probably the favorites of the tournament, TrueWhale. That's going to be one hell of a matchup. But we'll get to those matches, those best of 5 qualifying matches after this short break. So during the matches, I was hanging out. My friends over in the 808 channel, I see you there. Emperor Chen, I see you over there. All right, it's time. Coupon code. I saw all you guys complaining about it, wondering about it. Here it is. It's coupon code time. Make sure to plug that one in and get all your goodies. It's Run the Gauntlet. Run the Gauntlet. That one's really easy. There's no weird spelling, nothing that's going to give you trouble by saying it weird. Run the Gauntlet, get yourself some energy and a mystical scroll, and pull the nat 5. Just one scroll, easy nat 5, just like that. Make sure to plug that one in. Run the Gauntlet. And Sean B, you can make sure all of your audience, here's that one too. And as you have heard me say multiple times before, you like playing card games? The card game that also Summoner's War is a part of, Lost Centuria. Well, it's showtime. It is the World Showdown for Lost Centuria. That will be coming later on in August, next weekend. It's coming up very soon, August 7th at 8 p.m. It's the event match for Lost Centuria, the World Showdown. Make sure to tune in and watch and participate in that one. I'm sure there's going to be lots of goodies for you to pick up, both in Summoner's War and Lost Centuria. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, 4 dreams will continue to move on. One of them might be Joseph, and 4 dreams will fade. Who will be? We'll find out in just a little bit. Make sure to stick around. You're watching the America's Cup Preliminaries, day number 3. Wanted to bring to your attention again, as we do every single SWC broadcast.
He did not pull a Champang yet. I would have thought I would see Sierra first pick. He goes to the
Okay, here we go. Oh, Lucian, it's over. Lucian, it's the 12,000.
This is war. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. I'll show you who's boss. The world is now a real-time battlefield. Join the global battlefield. Summoner's War, Lost Centuria. Download now.
Wanted to bring to your attention again, happened to every single SWC broadcast.
He did not pull a Changpang yet. I would have thought I would see Sierra first pick. He goes to the open side.
Okay, here we go. Oh, Lucian, it's over. Lucian, it's the 12,000.
Mr. Chung is going to be this year's SWC champion.
This is war. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. I'll show you who's boss. The world is now a real-time battlefield. Join the global battlefield. Summoner's War, Lost Centuria. Download now.
Yo, welcome back, everybody. Junkers, I saw you out there in the chat. Appreciate y'all. All of our mods here from Com2Us. Thank you all for watching preliminaries day number 3 of the Americas Cup. We saw 4 players make the next step into the qualifiers, and 4 players have their Americas Cup's dreams dashed. Who will be the 4 booking their ticket to join the 4 that have already joined? Lots of 4s. Let's find out together. Welcome back, everyone. D-Gon here with the action, but calling the plays have been once in love and Stoic. Y'all, what surprised you? What surprised you here in our first several matches of our preliminaries day number 3, the elimination matches here, Stoic?
We saw a string master in SWC. We've seen these string masters not even be utilized in the game, and we saw one in SWC, and it was awesome to see that.
How about you there, once in love?
Definitely the string master. That's got to be the highlight. You know, it was a perfect counter pick for JS, and it's also going to be a perfect counter pick for TrueWhale, knowing he also has that. But we're seeing a lot of people really aggressively using their Okeanos still, even though it carries forward from last year. Last year being the most picked unit in SWC, this year possibly could be again.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to see how the drafts and the plays have evolved so far. As we take a look at the updated overview of the tournament that we've had, 16 players started this journey trying to make their way into the Americas Cup. We then whittled it down to 12, 4 qualified. We had 8 in the first round elimination bracket, and then we had 8 in the elimination qualifier, or 4 in the elimination qualifier matches. We just played through that first elimination side. Then we've got ourselves 4 more matches to book, 4 tickets to the Americas Cup, all for the opportunity to play for the $10,000 winner's prize pool, as well as the 2 slots for the Americas region to represent us over at SWC. All right, now let's take a look at the bracket as it has been updated right there at the top. DanielKarioKa, Fala Dele, the Brazilian, up against the Americas Cup champion in JMak. JMak has the opportunity here to try and punch his ticket to go back-to-back and defend his title. Then we got BigV, who was dominant over TopaV against Michaelyan, who we haven't seen yet. And we're hoping that Michaelyan will be able to bring the fire and make sure they have the same type of battle. Then we have drmzjoseph, who has been in every single America's Cup and was the 2018 America's Cup champion, up against Zefarious. And then Tiger, the 2017 New York champion, up against TrueWhale, the highest rated player in the tournament. Each one of these matches is going to be damn good, and it's best of 5. So now you've got a little bit more leeway with your draft, a little bit more leeway with how you want to play and your play style. When we look at this bracket here, Stoic, which match jumps out at you, my man?
I mean, Tiger and TrueWhale, we knew TrueWhale to be drafting a lot of Pontos. I'm not sure we're going to be seeing a Pontos coming out of TrueWhale up against Tiger, since Tiger's proven to be so prepared for this unit. So I'm curious what Tiger has prepared for TrueWhale, knowing that TrueWhale does have that Pontos. Does Tiger have anything else in store for us? Because I would love to see what he's got.
Once love, quick pick.
BigV Michaelyan. I was definitely leaning the Tiger TrueWhale, but after seeing BigV pop out that Nikki, I have a lot of confidence in an aggressive but controlled draft here.
Yeah. Well, that Nikki was powerful. Powerful. That was like, we've seen some outdrafts. That was just brute force. We'll get to see how it does there against Michaelyan. But let's get to our first matchup and book our first ticket of the day to the Americas Cup. It's DanielKarioKa against JMak, and this is not the same first matchup here that DanielKarioKa had earlier, right? JMak is an accomplished player, played on the world stage, has been putting in the time and effort. We know that he's got a massive toolbox, so this is going to be a big mountain for DanielKarioKa to climb here, Stoic.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like DanielKarioKa just keeps getting handed some of the toughest players throughout this tournament. He had to deal with TrueWhale, he had to deal with Firas, and now he's dealing with JMak. Just nothing but mountains to climb for this man, but it has been quite the adventure for the Brazilian here. We're still looking for DanielKarioKa to keep on pushing through, and he's showing that want. He's showing he wants to be here. He's showing he wants to win, because he's moving on his way, but he's got JMak to play up ahead.
Yeah, not an easy draw here, once in love.
No, definitely not. JMak is easily one of the most formidable opponents in all regions, actually. JMak is an incredibly clean player, has some of the fastest runes, and is also well known to have arguably one of the best sets of artifacts for his RTA units.
Yeah, and again, right, like the reason why JMak was here because he ran into Thompson in the winner's bracket, another champion in their own right. So JMak again with the Doge, super cute. You can see win rates not that high, but still doesn't need to be that high because he's got toolboxes and he knows what he's bringing. He knows the game. And as you said, the artifacts, the runes, it's all top tier here, Stoic.
Yeah, most definitely. And being last year's America's Cup champion definitely deserves to be here. So JMak going up against DanielKarioKa. I think JMak knows what he's getting himself into. This is going to be one of those cases where it's like, can DanielKarioKa surprise JMak going in here? Or does JMak have something he's going to be surprising? Because we've seen him use some of Fate Mem's techniques here with the Chloe. And I'm just curious, like, what else is JMak going to be drafting here?
Right, and remember, for DanielKarioKa, a little bit of a slight disadvantage because this is a best of 5. JMak had that opportunity to do that against Thompson in, I think it was day number 2, but in the first round. So we'll get to see if DanielKarioKa is able to take advantage of the change of the draft style and, again, his opponent as well. DanielKarioKa, the pride of Brazil in all of our Portuguese speakers, up against JMak. Who's going to book their ticket to the America's Cup and whose dreams will be dashed? Let's find out. Stoic and Ones in Love, take it away.
DanielKarioKa, JMak, in a match of 5. Going into our first round here, we've got drafts coming up. Pre-bans are going to be coming out right now.
It looks like JMak has lost a point on the ladder, only ranking in at 998, not 999 like last week. I don't know if JMak's going to be able to take DanielKarioKa here, but he does get the first pick, and so the pre-bans are the Ganymede and the Yinhong.
Definitely some expected pre-bans coming out of these two. The decay of that 1 point, not looking good at all for JMak. 99.8, it's tough.
JMak flashing the Samoth, wants to mention it. Samoth being a very effective setup he had last time. His Samoth actually being on Vampire, barely missed the double crit last time to beat Thompson. Now, it could have been a completely different match had that been 100%. But these two players knowing each other well, flashing a couple fun units, having a little fun with the draft here. DanielKarioKa locks in. Do we see it? Is there the speed lead with the Barbara?
Yeah, these two definitely having some fun with each other. Very friendly players here, JMak and DanielKarioKa. DanielKarioKa drafting that speed lead, that CR with the Barbara as well. And JMak locking in Fran and a Vanessa coming out of JMak.
Seeing a lot of Fate Memory style in this setup. JMak taking a really, really good page out of that book. This draft was very effective at getting Fate Memory into the finals last time against JS.
Well, if there's a page that Vanessa wants to take out of anybody book, that is drmzjoseph. He needs to see that violent procking Vanessa going into this match here.
That's true. Those Vanessa users, you know, they catch us off guard. They're underrated, but very, very strong. DanielKarioKa leans in, takes the Molly. Not quite sure why he picks it up so early, but there it is, the Molly alongside the Carnal. JMak leans into a cocky, a little scary here with the Barbara up.
Definitely a little scary here, but we're seeing a lot of fire damage coming out of JMak. DanielKarioKa not wrapping up his draft, but drafting that Carnal with the Molly, looking a little safe with that Molly with this on his side of the field. JMak is going to be wrapping up his draft with that Cocky and with that Savannah as well.
Maybe you were right. Maybe he is taking a book out of DreamsJoseph's page there. We do see the 3 fire units on JMak's side. DanielKarioKa has a little bit of an advantage in the draft here, but JMak pretty confidently picks that in. Maybe there's something we haven't seen before, maybe a unique tech.
Well, we're about to find out. DanielKarioKa, one last pick going into JMak here.
Like the water Ryu lock in, double speed leads, good opportunity, good protection here. JMak probably leaning to ban the Barbara now for the first turn, but could also just ban out the water Ryu.
Yeah, Water Ryu being a very good pick going into this Cocky. Be able to attack break with that first skill, attack bar pushback with the second skill. Great strip for this Fran being left on the field, but we're about to find out how good is this draft going to JMak, or is JMak going to be flexing that last year's America's Cup knowledge on DanielKarioKa here? Okeanos with the first turn.
Ooh, and a big strip reset denies DanielKarioKa any opportunity to stop this attack buff immunity here. JMak's got a pretty scary unit looking up. The Cocky with the attack buff does a lot of damage.
Lot of damage coming out of that Cocky right onto the more with the defense break sitting on top of him. DanielKarioKa is not able to put a bomb on here unless Molly, of course, can get a nice strip of the immunity on any of these units.
The cleanse and gets the extra turn, but no strip on the Okeanos. No bomb will come out. Vanessa has the opportunity for a lot of damage.
Yeah, Vanessa looking for that death break on top of Ciara. Not like drmzjoseph getting the additional turn as well. Ciara trying to cycle a little bit of attack bar. We see that big third skill going out on top of DanieKarioKa's team.
But just like Duhstin, we do see the Molly getting a lot of value out of that passive. We saw the glancing, so no defense break for Vanessa.
That's right, but Kaki providing enough damage to finish off that CR. Not at all what DanielKarioKa needed to see here. Big skill too. Does get resisted on top of that Connell.
Kaki doesn't matter if you glance, you deal a ton of damage anyways. The attack buff, Kaki ripping through his entire team. JMak's got a really aggressive draft here. The attack break on Cardinal is very good, protects him a little bit more.
Definitely does, but that defense break with the additional turn come out of Kaki. It's too oppressive. The Onimushas with the multi-hits. First skills that death break with a violent proc on top and just dealing so much damage.
An incredible base speed on Kaki working so effectively in JMak's favor. Has the 33 lead alongside the 115 base speed. This Kaki's just ripping through units. Does he take out the Molly? He doesn't defense break.
So much damage coming out of this Kaki. Molly needs to get so many additional turns. The lovely attack break that Wateroo can supply onto the Kaki would definitely help him out, and he does that exactly.
No stun from the Okeanos, though, so DanielKarioKa does have a skill 2, gets the stun to spare Wateroo, to spare more, taking the stun out on the Kaki, but Fran will be here to cleanse it.
Yep, Fran is going to be there, but so is Molly. Molly healing up the team as much as possible, looking to deal some damage to the Okeanos. Kaki not getting the additional turn to possibly finish off that Molly there, but we've got that reset coming out onto the Molly for that second skill.
It's Oki dealing a ton of damage, both additionals and the crits, the double crits there into the Molly, but Molly will not go down. She is a fighter. She has 2 turns. She gets healed again.
Yep, Vanessa with that beautiful passive being up there. Okeanos coming back right now. Fran primed and ready with that second skill, healing up Okeanos to looking very healthy right now. Kaki applying so much damage onto the Molly. Okeanos dropping the Molly here. It is just a lonely Moore. Not looking good for DanielKarioKa.
You know how Moore is, especially on Despair. Has the opportunity. Passive is up. Has skill 2 ready. Could be enough to take the victory here.
It could possibly be enough, but this is an attack buff Kaki. We're going to see a lot of damage coming out of him. He's not able to strip any of that off of the Kaki. Here we go. That big first skill, eliminating that Moore from the field. JMak taking round 1 away from DanielKarioKa.
Oh, Kaki, what an incredible pick. We saw in the past, he got nerfed, but still comes back with a vengeance. A super strong unit here into the draft. Not afraid of the Molly, not afraid of anything else. Knew that he could take the first turn there with his Okeanos.
Such a strong unit with probably amazing rune quality behind it for JMak. Really like to see that Kaki and something that DanielKarioKa needs to prepare for going into this round 2.
I really like that JMak wasn't afraid of the Wateroo. Knew he could reset it on the first turn, went in for that risk, and just kind of ripped to shreds every unit with that Kaki. That first skill defense break dealing a ton of extra damage, and then the additional turn there to finish it off.
It was a great first step going into that match, but into this match, can JMak take a second great step with DanielKarioKa? Pre-bans are out here. Looks like Barbara and Ciara are getting pre-banned.
Oh, we do love a good Barbara ban. JMak showing DanielKarioKa the respect he deserves. Bans out his fastest unit. Doesn't want him to have the Barbara.
And Okeanos being first picked by DanielKarioKa. JMak looking at drafting more himself along with a friend.
JMak, we've seen this incredible friend. Very, very strong, very high, actually quite high artifact damage on that, alongside how tanky it was.
I love that we're seeing a different side of JMak compared to the last time we were watching him play. This is exactly how JMak needs to play, as he needs to keep his opponent guessing. This is how he basically won last year's America's Cup. He kept his opponents guessing, and you couldn't predict anything that JMak was bringing to the table. And that's so far what we've been seeing out of JMak. DanielKarioKa locking in that Yanhong and that Chiwu. JMak responding.
Flashing the Verd. Really like the Verd here into the Chiwu. Very strong opportunity. We know JMak has extremely efficient runes. Could be super tanky. Could even be double revenge will. Might be triple revenge. Could even be violent revenge. Something we haven't seen in a long time here.
Well, JMak does lock in that Verd heal and Savannah. DanielKarioKa looking at bringing that Connell back, and one other pick a little heavy on the fire side. And this is where Chow really does shine. I think DanielKarioKa has got to keep that in mind, that we could possibly be seeing a Chow soloing unit in this 5th pick.
Really like how JMak prepares his drafts for every unit. And there it is. You called it. There's the Chow. The last pick Chow is locked in, and that's got to be a force ban. There's no way DanielKarioKa has anything available to deal with that.
It's 100% a force ban. If that Chow goes through, it's going to be ripping DanielKarioKa to shreds. It's too much firepower. It's too much everything going up against DanielKarioKa. Chow's definitely going to be the ban, and the Yonhong's getting banned. We're getting into a round 2 with DanielKarioKa and JMak, and it's already kicking off very exciting.
Really like the way JMak prepares for his opponents. Has something different ready for everybody, but is always very confident. Very, very confident.
He really does. And this Chiwu looking fast for DanielKarioKa, looking for that strip and nailing that debuff on top of the Fran as well.
He's scared. You can see him. He doesn't go for the AoE strip. He's afraid of the triple revenge bird here.
Yeah, definitely afraid of that triple revenge bird. That's been, messing up a whole lot of people throughout many seasons now. We're going to see Vertiheal looking at this Connell, trying to pummel in some damage on top of that defense break. Lulu looking to cleanse everybody up.
Beautiful extra turn there from JMak. Does manage to get the attack break onto the Okeanos. Denies the immunity coming up. Just gets a cleanse and nothing else.
Lulu trying to poke a little bit of damage into that Vertiheal. Vertiheal not revenging onto this water unit, but we've got Okeanos with that big second skill.
A lot of value here, actually, for JMak. Having this Verd available here alongside the Water Ryu. Water Ryu's going to do a lot of damage, and as the Despair threat, can really, really chip down away at this Okeanos.
Yeah, Fran really trying to reduce the attack bar of that Okeanos, pummeling a little bit of damage here. We're going to see this more. Probably still focusing in, but instead going for a beautiful Despair stun on top of the Connell.
There it is. There's the risk. Chiwu going for the skill 3, hits the strip, but is revenged by the Verd. An extra turn for Cardinal, though, does give him the Sword Rain. How much value does he get?
Really big additional turn there, getting a stun on top of the Fran with that slow debuff on everybody here. Vertiheal trying to get up some attack bars. We're going to see a big second skill going on top of Okeanos, not really dealing much here.
No big stun here from Moore. Moore does get stunned. 4-man stun from Oki. Oki's going to have a lot of mileage here. He's going for it. They're taking down the Fran. She's getting chipped away.
They really are. DanielKarioKa trying to get himself on the good foot here, trying to get rid of this Fran with the additional turn. He's going to be able to drop that Fran here, and he does. DanielKarioKa, he's got sustain, he's got control. He needs to be careful of this more, but it is looking good for DanielKarioKa.
JMak playing a little bit behind here. Does have the opportunity of the Verd for extra turns. Savannah being a little bit weaker in this draft. Okeanos getting a ton of value. Oh, and there's the extra turn, but it's just too late. Okeanos just resets.
Yeah, Okeanos just reset that Savannah. Savannah not able to capitalize on anything. Vertiheal trying to push up his attack bars. Big skill too, coming at him more and more with the Despair stun on top of that Okeanos, but the cleanse primed and ready with Lulu.
Yeah, the cleanse here denies a lot of mileage from that Moore. Moore's got good damage though, additional damage. Despair has the opportunity to still win this out. I wouldn't discount him too far yet. We got Verd, we got Moore. It's a lot of extra turns coming out.
Well, Okeanos says he's got some additional turns as well. Stuns are coming out, dismounting that Savannah. Moore trying to do all he can right now. Savannah with a very nice proc. Does crit, not able to finish off that Connell just yet.
Oh, what a huge stun lands on the Moore. Denies so much. Moore not going to be able to get the turn. He's taking a lot of damage here.
And there we go. DanielKarioKa responds with a round 2 victory against JMak.
Yeah, fairly well drafted. I really thought JMak had the advantage here with the draft. I didn't quite like the Savannah pick at the end there. I felt like it was a little bit on the weaker side, but overall still very strong showing from JMak. Had a really good Fran. It got stunned every turn though. It's a little bit unfortunate there.
It was definitely a good showing for both those two. I think the drafts worked out great, but it worked out in DanielKarioKa's favor throughout play. Excellent match with DanielKarioKa. He gets a win away from JMak. We've got the pre-bans from last time. That Barbara and Sierra were pre-banned, and we've got some new pre-bans coming out again.
Yeah, we definitely see the value in Okeanos, though. That extra turn from the Okeanos really stun up the whole team. The extra turn to get into the reset. Okeanos, time and time again, shows his value in these tournaments every single year. 2019, 2020, even now with Artifacts, 2021 is an incredibly strong unit.
It really is. Pre-bans are out. Yan Hong's getting pre-banned for on DanielKarioKa, and looks like that Savannah that DanielKarioKa doesn't want to have to deal with is getting pre-banned as well.
Interesting, though. DanielKarioKa swapping up the pre-ban, wants to give JMak the Ganny opportunity. Both players very confident on their picks, locking things in back-to-back. The Okeanos into the Sierra Barbara, back into a speed lead with the Fran.
Yeah, very confident in their picks, and DanielKarioKa slowing it down. Take advantage of that time. Try to get a gauge on your opponent here. He's going to be looking at a Juno. Does he choose to lock in the Juno with one other unit?
A little bit scared of the Juno here. Not really feeling a lot of value on Juno currently. However, if she is on Will, it could be a little bit of a toss-up.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got a Juno and we've got a Ganny. I feel like DanielKarioKa is hovering over a Rika for a 5th pick going into this match here. But we've got JMak looking to respond to 2 other units. As he read into it, it looks like he's going to be bringing that Kaki.
Diana and Lulu are both really, really scary options here at the end. Diana for the aggressive composition, Lulu for the defensive double immunity. You don't see it.
And it looks like DanielKarioKa is going to roll the dice and introduce an Antares to this draft.
Oh man, we've seen Antares in so many of the tournaments, so many of the years, showing that he is one of the scariest units out there, one of the most formidable opponents. That extra turn mechanic. Steel turn is so strong and so scary.
It really is. That is a terrifying unit because that unit can be extremely oppressive. He takes that unit back and he's going with a Connell instead.
Tries to strike the Fear of God into JMak, but doesn't go for it. Wants to play safe and take the Cardinal. Really values that HP lead, the slow debuff. Very effective there.
Interesting mechanics coming out of DanielKarioKa, trying to play mind games with that Antares. Ban's going to be coming out here, and the Fran and the Connell are going to be banned out.
Pretty good draft here for JMak.
Definitely a pretty good draft here. We're going to find out who has the stronger draft as we get into round 3 with DanielKarioKa and JMak.
Definitely afraid of the Diana here. Diana on the field into this, into 2 wind, and the Barbara is very scary. But Barbara could put enough damage out to possibly take out this Kaki early on.
Yeah, definitely a lot of damage going towards this Okeanos, looking to get rid of this unit first, which would proc the passive on top of this Vanessa.
No strip there for the Vanessa means that he will revive. Defense break on the first hit. Diana could go in for it, but it's not worth the risk. It's a little risky with the Sierra following up here.
Definitely a little risky indeed. Trying to get that stun on top of Ganymede, not receiving that stun here. Glancing can be applied to that Diana.
But very effective against her, but wants to ventilate, gets the extra turn, shrugs off the defense break.
Does not land the glancing on top of that Diana. He can use this bomb to lock down the Diana to stop it from taking turns here. Does not need to detonate it though.
Today is DanielKarioKa's day. He's showing he's got the pride going. He's ready to do this. He's ready to take out JMak. And the extra turn, there it is. Vanessa takes a page out of DrmzJoseph books and takes out the Ganny on the first turn.
Massive violent proc right there coming out of Vanessa, able to get that defense break and remove that Ganny from the field. Barbara looking to deal a little bit of damage herself, trying to take out that Okeanos, and of course it would be revived back with the Vanessa passive.
Oh, DanielKarioKa goes for it. He goes for the finish onto the Okeanos with that skill 1 on Sierra, but doesn't quite hit enough damage. Okeanos will get a little value here, so here comes the Rain of Stones and the attack buff.
Yeah, there's that Rain of Stones not locking down the Barbara here. Barbara needs to get rid of this Okeanos. He's trying to trade units here to go for a 3v3, keeping in mind this Vanessa can get that revive back.
Interesting, goes for the strip, does land the stun there on the Kaki. Very effective, very strong, but an extra turn from Diana is a little scary here.
Definitely scary indeed. We might see that first skill dropping. No, he's choosing to transform and cycle and going after that Ciara.
Doesn't have the turn. Not sure if he went for it for the damage. Might have needed just a little bit extra to get in there and finish off that Sierra. Here it is. Kaki's going to go for the dismount. Should skill 1 here. Doesn't skill 2 because you don't get any sort of endure from knocking her off the mount.
Yeah, not just yet. Defense break sitting on top of Barbara. Can Barbara shake this defense break? And we've got Juno looking for a Despair Stun on top of Kaki. Not enough. We've got 3 turns. We see that before we see that passive again. Barbara's going to be pummeling that damage into that Kaki. It looks like it may be over for JMak here. We've got Barbara trying to do all she can. Juno with the Despair Stuns into Vanessa. We've got Barbara finishing that unit off. DanielKarioKa taking round 3 away from JMak.
Really, really careful execution there. We saw DanielKarioKa using skill 1 from his Barber to actually slow down the Kaki. Knew he would get another turn if he moved in front of it, and it just worked out perfectly for him. JMak, though, interesting choice on the Diana there. Swapped forms. Not quite sure if he needed it. Didn't have the cooldowns ready yet, but might have just needed to finish off that Sierra with the extra damage.
Definitely some dangerous plays coming from both these people, but they needed to make these kind of plays. This is SWC, and if they see these opportunities to drop units, they tried to go for those moments. But DanielKarioKa came out on top in that round 3. He's got 1 match up against JMak. JMak needs to bounce back going into this set number 4.
And one of the interesting things we saw in that match was when DanielKarioKa had the opportunity to strip with his Barbara, actually went for the strip onto the Diana. Unique mechanic not a lot of people know about, but strips don't actually glance, so using that into the Diana is very effective. Strip the shield and she just ate the entire bomb.
Well, we have our pre-bans from last time, the Yonhong and the Savannah coming back in this match number 4. We've got a Barbara getting banned out, and we have that Ganymede getting banned out by DanielKarioKa.
Seems Daniel really likes denying or picking the Ganny here. You know, in the other matches, pre-banned the Ganny, and then in the last match, actually picked the Ganny instead. Very strong setup.
Definitely a strong setup indeed. Okeanos getting first pick by DanielKarioKa. JMak responding with a speed lead. The Ciara with that Fire Bison.
JMak going for a little bit more of an aggressive and standard draft here. We see the Sierra, speed lead, Fire Bison, very strong. Good showing. It's not too revealing of your hand. Has a lot of opportunity to go for turn 2, turn 1, big cleave setups.
Well, JMak's going to be trying to surprise DanielKarioKa here. This is a very important match to possibly knock DanielKarioKa off balance, and we are going to be seeing a Chloe coming out.
DanielKarioKa taking away the Water Ryu at this point is very strong, taking away that more from JMak, but JMak has the Shizuka. Shizuka Chloe, we saw it before, a very effective combination against Thompson and against others.
Definitely a very effective combo indeed. Is it going to be enough to possibly knock DanielKarioKa off balance here? He's got 2 more picks after seeing this Chloe and Shizuka. It's going to be the Molong and the Yonhong coming out of DanielKarioKa.
Pretty strong showing for DK. He does have Okeanos Yonhong, Molong Yonhong combo. It's pretty scary for JMak, but JMak has invincibility, has the revive mechanic. It's going to be a little bit worrisome here for Daniel. Will he be able to effectively control JMak in the early turns?
Well, we're about to find out. JMak wrapping up his draft with 1 last pick, and it is going to be that Diana. I think we're seeing a Moore and Molong going through here now that he has locked this unit in.
And a very, very effective unit here. Most likely the ban, but could see the Sierra ban for the denial of bombs alongside Shizuka on JMak's side. Could be the Okeanos. Okeanos very strong to this, but also could be the immunity ban. Could be taking away the Fran, playing for turn 2 here with his own immunity on the Chloe.
And Diana's going to be banned out, and it looks like this Okeanos is going to get banned out by JMak on DanielKarioKa.
Daniel needs a lot of value out of this Yonhong. Yonhong needs to land that first turn strip. He needs to get that first turn. He needs to get a despair stun here. Otherwise, it's going to be going to a game 5.
I think a lot of people want to see that game 5 here, but I think DanielKarioKa wants to see this match end here. We've got speed leads for both players here. Can DanielKarioKa put the nail in the coffin here, or can JMak have this match end and go into a game 5?
There it is, first turn. Do we see the strip? Does she land it? Yonhong, we need you to hit it now.
And Yonhong does, gets that strip, boosting up its team to get in front of JMak here, getting a very nice despair stun on top of Chloe.
Good attack bar gain. It looks like Shizuka could go down here to the Reckless Assault, and Shizuka's going to go.
DanielKarioKa wants to remove units from the field. He doesn't want to have something that he needs to worry about. Removes that Shizuka from the field. Fire Bison trying to pummel in what damage he can on top of Fran. Beautiful attack break does land on top of that Ciara, though.
A lot of value here out of this immunity. Doesn't need to cycle out of the immunity yet. Wants to keep Sierra in check.
Yeah, definitely. DanielKarioKa trying to land that glancing to help the Ciara not gain any turns here. Molong once again getting another stun on top of this Chloe.
Chloe not getting any turns. She's looking pretty sad down there. Stunned away. Locked away forever. Unable to use her invincibility.
JMak trying to get some additional turns here, deal as much damage as possible into this Fran. We've got Charge Vitality coming out onto Molong. Molong looking at a defense break on top of the Ciara. We've got the Blade Fans coming out with the Yonhong to drop the Ciara. Not looking good for JMak. He does have the second skill to heal up and the third skill. This is a violent Chloe.
Looks like Brazil might carry here. DanielKarioKa looking pretty good for the third win, but it is a Fire Bison. It is a Chloe. There's a lot of potential for extra things to happen right now.
That's right. JMak's not done yet. You see those massive stuns coming out there. All the slows on top of DanielKarioKa's team. JMak still trying to finish off. He's got a support unit. He has a damage dealer, but can DanielKarioKa get the upset?
Today seems to be DanielKarioKa's day, hitting a lot of despair stuns, good resistance overall. Maybe it's just enough. He could take down our reigning champion.
Definitely trying to take down that reigning champion. Indeed, defense break sitting on top of that Fire Bison. Fran looking to buff up here, so we're going to see some big damage coming from DanielKarioKa. JMak trying to get rid of this Fran and not receiving it, but he can already see the future. DanielKarioKa taking down JMak.
And there it is, the biggest upset of SWC 2021, kicking things off right here. We're not even at that part. It happens in the preliminaries. Day number 3, the reigning America's Cup champion, JMak, has been eliminated by the pride of Brazil. DanielKarioKa is moving on to the America's Cup, and that is a fantastic sight for that young man right there and all of the region of Brazil right there. What a massive upset this is, Once in Love.
Yeah, what an absolutely incredible showing, especially after JMak had such a strong, aggressive draft in that first match. Really showed he knew what he was prepared for, but just fell short on match 2 and couldn't really recover. Wanted to play for the little bit of RNG there, wanted to try to rely on that Verd, but it looked like DanielKarioKa had it under lock. His Carnal, his Okeanos, they were just shutting down that Verd every single opportunity they had. Even though JMak had so much leverage and so much room, he just couldn't bring it back at the end of these matches.
Yeah, Stoic, again, like, put this into context, how big of an upset this is.
It is a huge upset, it really is. But as much as it is an upset, it is as much as it is a victory for the pride of Brazil, as we're calling DanieKarioKa. Forca, Brazil, Forca DanielKarioKa, massive power, muito gostoso. It has been absolutely amazing watching DanielKarioKa play those matches, and as strong as he was, with all of that strength behind him, he powered through it and he took down JMak.
There it is, DanielKarioKinho, as they're going to call him, as he's now moving on to the America's Cup. He punches his ticket as we fill out the bracket right here. Bam, DanielKarioKa over JMak. That is massive. We had 4 returning champions in this tournament, with JMak, with Thompson, with drmzjoseph, and the NY champion in Tiger. And so the first one falls, and it's the most recent one, JMak, out of the America's Cup, out of SWC 2021. What a huge turn of events here for not only, again, just not only our Americas region, but the whole global region as well, as DanielKarioKa punches his ticket and will be able to continue his journey, not only to the America's Cup, but possibly to SWC 2021. Man, that is just huge, unexpected. I'm trying to put the words in place to kind of make sure we quantify and put the context in here. Congratulations, DanielKarioKa, for making your dreams come true and continuing on the tournament. Whew, all right, there it is. So DanielKarioKa gets his win, but we've got 2 more matches, or 3 more matches, 2 more players that are up next for their opportunity to punch their ticket to the America's Cup. It's BigV with his dominant victory over TopaV, and Michaelyan, who also went into the winner's bracket last week, wasn't quite able to get it done. Already has his experience with best of 5s. Let's see how it'll shape up for these two. And we just saw BigV earlier today just overpower TopaV, and maybe TopaV could have gotten a draft that was a little bit more creative, as we like to say, but BigV, all he can do is beat what was in front of him, and he did exactly that, Once in Love.
Yeah, BigV, very strong showing of that Nikki, something none of us really expected to be on crit damage, but we saw her absolutely rip through that Juno. Juno taking a very weak passing, but BigV just very clean drafts and a little bit weak on Topa's side. You know, we wanted to see that creativity that we always expect from him, but it just didn't come through this time.
All right, flip side for you, Stoic. We got to talk about Michaelyan here. Michaelyan was close to making it through last week, wasn't quite able to. What does Michaelyan need to do differently this time to take care of business against what has already been one of the most dominant showings of the day against BigV?
Most definitely. I mean, Michaelyan definitely has to, I guess, take a lesson out of what TopaV had just went through. So he needs to make sure that he is not predictable, because Michaelyan has shown a little bit of a pattern. And we've seen this last year, and it was very similar to what we were seeing even this year as well. You know, Michaelyan got a big victory over drmzjoseph before, but it was actually similar play that we saw last year. So what we need to see is a change from Michaelyan, something that is going to be a little different going into this match here.
Yep, well, I guess we'll find out here. Michaelyan trying to get over the hump and into America's Cup, but BigV already won his spot earlier today. Will he be able to do it? Let's find out. BigV, Michaelyan, one spot to the America's Cup. Who takes it? We've already seen upsets today. Let's find out.
Here we go, guys. We've got Michaelyan and we've got BigV. BigV always looking for that big victory, but we've got pre-bans coming out here to set that tone.
BigV with a strong pre-ban here. Michaelyan with the first pick. BigV doesn't want to fight the Chung Pong, wants to lean possibly toward the Lulu setup here, or maybe even just go for a heavier wind composition.
Yeah, we'll see what Michaelyan's looking to draft here, and we see that Okeanos coming out. Okeanos being such a strong first pick. BigV responding immediately with double speed lead. We see that more, and we see that Ciara.
I like the double speed lead opportunity in here. Denies a lot of Michaelyan's prior compositions, a lot of his past picks. Michaelyan responds, wants something to deal with that more, doesn't want to fight the despair. Stuns there.
Yep, interesting seeing this Hagang and the Lulu coming out of Michaelyan.
BigV doesn't have the Trunk Pong. He banned it away. Can't pick it into Michaelyan here. A little bit on the weaker side with the Lulu on the field.
And BigV looking to respond. And we are going to be seeing that Nikki and Kinky coming up for BigV.
Michaelyan does have a good opportunity to pick a lot of damage here, though. Does not want to pick the Molly. Does not want to pick the Artemil into this. A little too scary for that opportunity. So what are we going to see?
Definitely not going to be seeing that out of here. If we do see out of here, I think we can kind of predict who's going to be a victor in this match. But we're seeing a Ganny coming out, missing a little bit of damage on the side of Michaelyan right now.
Oh, let's see a Carnal here. But instead we see Rika. We've seen her banned all the time. BigV responding, same as last time, picks the Annabelle. Very good, strong unit here.
Double cleanse for BigV. I don't think he's going to be banning out this Rika, and we've seen Rika banned the majority of the time.
Yeah, pretty effective. The defense break does set up the Kinky fairly well, as well as setting up, that crit damage. Nikki, it's going to hit really hard since she attack buffs herself first. I think we might actually see a Ganny ban here.
Ganny is going to be banned out, and the Annabelle as well.
Both good, both really good bans on each side. I think BigV still does lean towards the advantage as the Nikki set up.
Yep, well, speed lead on the side of BigV is BigV taking first turn and putting on that pressure here with Michaelyan, and we have BigV taking that first turn.
Here it comes. Oh, does manage to land the stun, though. Hagang with the big stun onto Nikki with the defense break into Hagang.
Yeah, definitely a big stun right there on top of Nikki. Does not have a way to cleanse that up right now. You can see that third skill trying to stun up everybody except that Kinky.
And Kinky getting defense breaks on 2 units on first turn, does move before the Lulu, manages to take out 2 units on the first turn, and we're looking like we have a pretty good advantage here for BigV.
Definitely looking like a pretty good advantage already. Kinky's such a strong unit when a defense breaks on the field. Multiple defense breaks at that huge second skill damage here. And there's that cleanse coming out. I don't think Rika's going to be enough to get this victory for Michaelyan. Kinky being so powerful with these additional turns, not applying a defense break just yet.
Good stuns out from Rika. Has to be a little bit scared, though. He's got a lot of cleansing he needs to do here.
Definitely a lot of cleansing indeed. Bomb does land on top of this Lulu. Looking to get that defense break. Does not land it here, but we're going to see that additional turn pummeling more damage on top of this poor Lulu.
Rika lands the sleep on Sierra, gets the extra turn, can push forward. Another sleep into skill 3. This could be huge. It could be a lot of control.
It could be a lot of control, able to get all those additional turns with the first skill right there. Moore trying to push back some attack bars there. Goes for the third skill and sets that bomb off. It is a lonely Rika.
Looks like this big hill that Michaelyan has to climb is Kinky. Kinky absolutely obliterating every unit on his team.
Absolutely obliterating him. That is a huge victory for BigV, taking round 1 away from Michaelyan.
Yeah, it was nice to see Michaelyan pick something a little bit less predictable, but that Kinky-Nikki combo is pretty scary. I mean, as you can see, the double revenge on first turn to the defense breaks was enough to just take him down on the first turn. Didn't need the attack buff at all.
That was definitely scary for Michaelyan. Michaelyan knowing what he's terrified of, and he's banning that unit out. He doesn't want to see Kinky going into a round 2.
Has to play from a disadvantage. It is a best of 5, so he can come back in the situation, but BigV will have the opportunity to take away the first pick, Okeanos.
Is that Ciara first pick coming out of BigV? Michaelyan with 2 other picks, and he is going to be taking that Okeanos away from with the water. You look how quick BigV locked these units down. He goes at the Nikki, goes at the Gianna immediately.
I absolutely love seeing this. Nikki being such a rare unit to see both in high-level play and at SWC. Generally one of the more underrated units. A lot of people not being a huge fan of her, but after what we've seen at this showing of SWC, how can you not be a fan of her? She's absolutely incredible.
Definitely, most definitely. Its unit being buffed now is doing excellent. It's doing some big things for BigV. Michaelyan looking at drafting that Changpeng with the Ganny. BigV wrapping up his draft very quickly, might I add, with that Chiwu and Savannah.
Very standard draft here from Michaelyan, but it also looks like a very standard ladder draft from BigV. Michaelyan with the last pick. Escher wants to guarantee that turn 1, but I don't know if it's going to be fast enough. BigV has some pretty fast runes.
Interesting that he decided to go with the Vertiheal instead of going with that Ashir here. So we're leaning towards a little bit more RNG that he gets these revenges off with the Vertiheal to help push his team forward. Bans are coming out right now.
So most likely seeing the Gianna ban here from Michaelyan. Picks the Water Ryu as well as the Verd to go alongside BigV into the Chiwu. But actually we don't. We see the Savannah ban, and there goes the Water Ryu. So BigV is going to take the risk into the Verd.
Yeah, definitely taking that risk for sure. Speed lead on the side of BigV. BigV definitely taking first turn here. Is the Vertiheal going to be enough for Michaelyan to get that edge on BigV, or is this going to be another victory for BigV? We're about to find out.
Michaelyan, a little bit scared here. The Gianna's going to get the 3 stuns.
Yeah, Gianna definitely playing it safe there. Wants to get that bomb out there and not take any turns there, stripping his team with that Chiwu. We're going to see that huge third skill coming up for Nikki, dealing so much damage, might I add.
This whole team's basically dead. BigV absolutely taking someone down on first turn. Misses the bomb, though. Sierra does not land it as we were hoping for. Doesn't quite get it.
He chose to detonate anyways. There was nothing to detonate. He just wanted that damage out there.
Yeah, so detonated the bomb on the Verd from the Gianna. Wanted that stun, but doesn't matter. Changpeng gets the extra turn.
And you see all that attack bar pushback coming out of that Chiwu as well. It's just looking so heavily favored BigV with great control going into this match here. Ciara looking to finish off this Changpeng and does so. It's a lonely Ganymede. It's a big victory for BigV.
That's a rough showing. Having that Gianna opportunity to move in before everything, not having that second speed lead to run there is just, you're basically giving it up to the Gianna. You know you're on TrueWhale. The Gianna's going to stun your whole team. But even with the missed Sierra bomb, there was a lot of value that came out of BigV's draft. And I don't know if Michaelyan has the defensive nature to really stain through that Nikki.
It's so dangerous. We're going to be seeing possibly a Gianna or a Nikki pre-ban going into here, and it looks like Gianna's going to be the ban that Michaelyan's going to be choosing. How is he going to have to deal with this Nikki? How is he going to have to deal with this this Kinky as well?
Michaelyan, being a traditional turn 2 player here, doesn't have a lot of opportunity to play turn 2 against BigV. BigV just obliterates the turn 2 setup, has so much AoE additional damage, has the heal block, has the attack buff. He's got it all.
It's so impressive the amount of damage we're seeing coming out of this Nikki. It's honestly crazy. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more Nikki nowadays for sure. And we've got the CR first pick coming out of Michaelyan. Looks like he's hovering over a Lulu. BigV with his own speed lead as well with an Okeanos.
Not liking the Lulu here for Michaelyan, playing the already potential turn 2 setup. Not very safe into the Nikki, and there it is. There we see it again. More additional damage. Nikki Kinky comes back for round 3.
Right. BigV knew Michaelyan did not handle the Kinky or that Nikki well at all, so he's going to be bringing him back here. Not worried about it. Doesn't need to fifth pick one of those units. He could just show him up right now. Michaelyan needs 2 big picks here. He needs to somehow counter these units. Maybe he's already looking to ban one of them. He needs to draft to counter another unit here, but this is a very important draft for Michaelyan.
I don't really like the Lulu because it doesn't give you a lot of pressure. It's just defensive nature. But the thing is, BigV's not afraid of your defense, Michaelyan. You got to pick aggressive. You got to go in and try to take him out on turn 1. Even with the Diana to cut the Nikki there, I don't know if the shield's going to be enough.
Well, there's that Savannah coming out here. Ooh, chooses to swap it up here. Not locking in that Savannah. Michaelyan still looking at a turn 2 draft at the moment. And BigV looking to draft one more unit to help put a wrench into Michaelyan's plan.
Does lock into Savannah. Savannah, very safe option. Annabelle was pretty all right here too. But Michaelyan only really has two ways to deal with this Kinky. Either has to ban it or relies on the bombs or Mo Long to kill. And one of those could very easily get banned in this draft.
Well, I think he's got to ban one of those LD units. It's just so powerful for Big V. He's already proved to know how to use them very, very well. Michaelyan kind of on the back foot just in this draft alone, but maybe he can turn it around. RNG is a cruel mistress.
The Diana ban. Expecting maybe the Kinky ban here. Bans out the Diana.
Well, we've got a speed lead for Michaelyan. He's got that CR out there. Is it going to be enough for Michaelyan to take a victory away from Big V? We have Water Ryu kicking it off with some strip and attack bot pushback as well.
No defense break on the Revenge this time. Who moves next? Did Michaelyan get enough attack bar? There it is. Sierra's getting to go.
Sierra finally landing a bomb here right on top of the Savannah. Not dismounting this unit, but not getting defense broken by that Kinky as well. We possibly may see... Well, we're going to be seeing a big second skill coming at a Mo Long with the stuns on top of Moore and that Nikki.
Mo Long with the huge stun denies the Nikki the attack buff for the Kinky, but Kinky's on a rampage. He's going off, shrugs off the glancing debuff.
Yeah, shrugs off that glancing debuff, dealing a lot of damage to that Ciara. Able to dismount the Savannah, which is very, very important here. I think he needs to heal up that Ciara. Heals it up with the first skill, possibly putting immunity on himself.
Doesn't go for it. Saves the immunity, wants the cleanse here. Nikki could go for the skill 3, wants the big attack buff, but goes for the skill 2 cleanse, wants to top off the team first, afraid of that Mo Long skill 3.
Definitely afraid of that reckless assault coming out of Mo Long. Mo Long looking to defense break a unit, trying to drop the Savannah. Only dealing a little bit of damage. You can see that big skill 2 coming out, dealing some damage. Ciara still looking pretty healthy right now, unless, of course, this unit gets these additional turns to try to remove this unit from the field. Kinky being an absolute menace.
Pretty tough matchup here. Big V needs to hit these bombs. Does hit the bomb on the Kinky, and the extra turn to possibly take down the Savannah. Savannah goes down.
Takes down the Savannah. This might be Michaelyan's opportunity. He's finally landing this bomb. He already used the cleanse with his Nikki. It is looking fairly well for Michaelyan now.
Lulu. Although I didn't like it, is getting a lot of turns here. It's giving a lot of protection to the Sierra. Sierra very, very tanky.
Look at all that damage coming out from that Nikki. We still have another bomb coming out here. It does land on top of the Water Ryu. He needs to detonate it to make sure he stuns up this Kinky. Kinky's still alive, though.
Kinky getting taken out by the reckless assault. Michaelyan has overcome his fear of the Nikki and the Kinky. Figured out a way to beat it.
Definitely figured out a way to beat it, indeed. Looking very good and heavily favored Michaelyan with this Lulu able to sustain his team.
Oh, but maybe we shouldn't speak too soon. Nikki could go for the sleeves, just like the Rika last time. Could get the extra turns into the skill 3 to end the game.
He might go for a skill 2 just to heal up his Water Ryu, but there's a good chance he might go for a skill 1, dropping one of those units, but also getting an additional turn.
Goes for it, lands the crit, almost takes out the Sierra. Not quite. Sierra does take down the Moore, and it's not looking good for Big V. The defense break comes out. Sierra should be able to finish off here.
Ciara is going to be finishing this off here. And finally, Michaelyan answering back with Big V with a huge round 3 victory.
Yeah, that was actually a beautiful draft there from Michaelyan. He did exactly what we were looking for. We wanted him to pick something that was different, something that worked. And with the last setup there with the Diana and the Mo Long, it forced Big V to make a choice. He had to pick whether he thought the Kinky was getting banned or not. And in this situation, he really did think the Kinky was getting banned, so he had to ban out the Diana.
Yeah, that was excellent decisions there. A lot of pressure with the units being drafted in that match there. But Michaelyan, he needs to play like that once again. Going into this match here, we're going into a game 4. This is very important for Michaelyan. He cannot lose this round. Kinky's getting banned out here. Pre-banned is also going to be the Hey Gang as well. Big V with that first pick.
Yeah, Sierra definitely coming out as the first pick here. Has the Sierra Gianna combination.
And that Ciara is going to be drafted by Big V. Michaelyan looking at drafting a speed lead himself, the Water Ryu and the Okeanos. Once again, these double deck units coming out, the Gianna and the Nikki for Big V.
Michaelyan leaning towards the pretty standard draft like last time. This is almost looking identical to our match too.
Looks like he's going to be bringing another speed lead as well. Chiwu Chungpung is confirmed for Michaelyan. Big V looking to wrap up his draft. He's hovering over that Verdi heal. Does he choose to draft it with all of that AoE that Michaelyan does have?
Here it is. Here's the swap. Michaelyan taking the Chiwu. Big V responding, taking the Verd alongside the Volantis. Wants the double RNG setup into Michaelyan.
That's some great drafting coming from Big V. This is where you have this unit depth, these LD Nat 5s. great positioning for these units. BigV looking very strong, drafting that Verti-Heal alongside that Volantis. Michaelyan really needs to respond well with this 5th pick.
Very scary draft on Big V's side. Most likely leaning towards a Chifu ban already. The attack bar pushback does deny a lot from most of the units, but with how fast they are, if the Verd stays up, it might be okay.
Interesting last pick coming out of Michaelyan. He's picking the Rika here.
And Rika again into the Nikki. Does work. We could see the Nikki ban in this situation if he doesn't want the cleanse or the attack buff, but either way, a lot of good opportunities on both sides. A lot of scary units up here.
Definitely a lot of scary units indeed. Does Michaelyan have enough CC to stop these units from taking these extra turns? The Volantis, the Verti-Heal being great units going into his draft. Is the Rika going to be enough? Gianna's getting banned out here. Okeanos is getting banned out here. Speed leads for both teams. Who's going to get this first turn?
I'm thinking first turn leads towards Michaelyan here.
Well, Michaelyan with the strip attack bar pushback. Volantis with the additional turn cutting in there.
Yeah, the big revenge to gain attack bar, and here it goes. No strip from the Rika, though.
Rika not being stripped there was very important that Big V landed that. So here we go. We're going to see that second skill come out there, getting the big stuns. Verti-Heal looking to push up some attack bar to get a cut in front of Michaelyan.
Verti-Heal, pretty good value here, though. Will get his Nikki in before the Rika will have the skill 3 opportunity.
Bomb looking to be placed on top of this Chongpong does land. He's going to be detonating this bomb here to stun up this unit. Does get the stun. Verti-Heal looking to push up his attack bars to help get in front of Michaelyan.
Big V most likely going for a skill 3 here. Wants the attack buff. Doesn't quite need to top up yet. Could save it for after the Rika uses her skill 3.
So much damage coming out of this Rika with that skill 3. Volantis pummeling some more damage on top of Michaelyan. Big V looking so strong right now.
Oh, and Big V, the Volantis counter stun into the Rika, denies Rika any opportunities. It's not looking good for Michaelyan. Big V's leaning in towards it.
Definitely not looking good at all. There's the big heal, shutting down everything Michaelyan threw at him. Bomb does miss, but it does not matter. Big V with the round 4 victory over Michaelyan.
And there you have it, Big V with his dominant play on today's matches where it counted. Today was the day we're booking the tickets. He showed up huge here. Michaelyan with a solid draft in game number 3 and was able to come through and battle back. But Big V looked like the deserving member here to move on and books his ticket to the Americas Cup. 6 tickets now booked here, and Big V joins them, Stoic.
That's right, Big V, such a clean player, excellent drafting. This is again where we can bring up unit depth, and when you have this kind of unit depth, you can really keep your opponent guessing, and you're forcing them to worry about one thing when they have to worry about another. You know, players like Thompson is able to flex something like this, and I think Big V is going to be putting his stamp in America's Cup with, you know, being one of those players that a lot of people are going to have to be worrying about, and he's a newcomer going into this year's America's Cup. So this is exciting, having Big V in a tournament, bringing what he has already brought.
Yeah, one's in love. What can we say here about Big V's performance today as well?
Absolutely incredible. Super clean drafting, super clean banning alongside that. He knew exactly what Michaelyan wanted to do with his comfort picks. But, you know, one fell short on one match there. You know, a little bit on the unsure of which unit he wanted to ban. Took a risk. Didn't quite pan out for him. But next match he comes back and he goes, look, I got everything to deal with anything you want to bring in. And he really showed it to us. He brought it out. That Volantis absolutely dominating the matches and really just shutting down the Rika.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy to see, I guess, the difference in Big V's like unit strength. It just felt like, hey, drafting's cool. I'll show the depth of what I have, but it's also great if my Nikki can just like wipe out like half your HP on all your units, maybe like 2/3 right away. So Big V booking his ticket here the first time, are able to move on through and join the other members into the America's Cup. He is now qualified as we take a look at it one more time, because again, it's just been a heck of a day so far. Michaelyan, again, the higher seed, only needed to win 1 because he made it into the winners bracket finals yesterday. Wasn't quite able to lose, drops down to the qualifier match, not able to get it done. Our second upset, we can call it an upset so far of the day. And so we say goodbye to Michaelyan and congratulations, Big V. We'll see you in September. Now, match number 3. It's another former champion, the 2018 Americas Cup champion, and drmzjoseph, man, his back was against the wall in that opening elimination match, but now he has the opportunity to qualify through, but he's got to get through Zefarious. And you know what? We already got one South American qualifier already in with DanielKarioKa. Why not two? The young man from Peru, one of the most brilliant minds in the game, drmzjoseph. Specific drafts, specific tuning of his units, and almost cost him there in our earlier matches. But now we're in a best of 5 where I think he really gets to flourish as we take a look on how he got here once in love.
Yeah, so drmzjoseph very strong. Today his showing was absolutely incredible. Those extra picks with 3 fire, very strong. Even not really being too afraid of that fire. You knew Duhstin had it ready, but what an incredible showing today. That Vanessa was just something that we rarely get to see, and it just did so well.
Let's get a little bit more context on his opponent, Zefarious, who, again, went the distance in the winner's bracket last week. Wasn't quite able to get it done and over the hump here, Stoic, as we see drmzjoseph. There we go. What do we do, or what do we think here about Zefarious? Is he really locked in at the end of Season 17 and his play so far for his Guild Militias?
Zefarious is a very consistent player. He's got great drafts, and going into a match with drmzjoseph, I think Zefarious brings a little bit more heat, a little bit more, fire to his draft and what he's going to be bringing to the table. Where drmzjoseph, he was bringing these, I guess you could call it like safe teams, and he can bring a lot of heat with his Beast Riders and stuff. But I don't think just a Vanessa is going to be enough here to take down Zefarious. So I think Zefarious is going to be prepared for matches like that. And we'll see what happens. Can drmzjoseph bring that fire going into this match up against Zefarious? Can Zefarious, cleanly draft going into this match?
Yeah, just kind of like what we saw there in that matchup against Faint Memory. High priority on Okeano. So as you said, he'll be bringing the fire. I see what you did there, Stoic. I'm not going to let any cheeky little thing go untouched here. All right. Zefarious, drmzjoseph, only one of them can proceed on through. We've already seen multiple upsets of the higher seed today. Will it happen again, or will one of the reigning champs, another reigning champ, fall here? Again, drmzjoseph, America's Cup. They go hand in hand. Let's see what happens here. Once in love, Stoic, take it away. One more ticket to be booked.
Here we go, guys. One more ticket indeed. Zefarious and drmzjoseph going into their very first match. We've got the pre-bans already out. Gianna getting pre-banned, and the Lulu getting pre-banned by Zefarious.
Interested to see if drmzjoseph will bring out an old tech. He used to have a Swift Shield Josephine that he would use against Gianna users, but might not see it this time. Zefarious does take away the Lulu, which I think is very effective for drmzjoseph here.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely indeed. Okeanos being the first pick for drmzjoseph. Zefarious with the Connell and the Changpeng being drafted.
And this might be the first match we haven't seen a speed lead in the first round of picks. Zefarious going for something I personally like, the Changpeng Connell there.
Yeah, definitely want to lock in some of those safe picks there. I think there's just a lot of speed leads nowadays that people can draft, especially with more being added to the mix of things. And then we have Ciara and Juno being picked by drmzjoseph. Zefarious looking to respond.
Interesting. drmzjoseph taking an early Juno there. Is not afraid at all of a more Barber setup here. drmzjoseph having 2 fire units. More Barber is a very effective setup here. Zefarious instead dropping the Barber, going for a Hey Gang. Very strong into Juno. Does give the extra attack bar every time she cleanses.
Yeah, Hagang looking very strong, and that more. But of course, we're going to be seeing a Diana with those 2 water units being drafted. Diana is going to be coming in as well as another pick, and it is going to be the Molly.
Diana Molly pretty strong here, actually. Molly denies a lot of value from Cardinal and Changpeng, and we know how Diana is, especially drmzjoseph's Diana. That big crit damage, absolutely obliterating units left and right.
Definitely, I think it's favoring drmzjoseph a little bit with this high damage draft, but it looks like Zefarious is going to be bringing his own high damage draft in the form of Kaki.
I like this Kaki pick. I feel like we're leaning towards a Sierra ban in this situation. The rest of the units don't as easily go through the Kaki. Kaki does a lot of damage.
All right, well, bans are going to be coming out shortly. I would imagine these two take their time here, really want to think it through in this best of 5 between each other.
Yeah, best of 5s. Tough for both of these players. Zefarious very, very strong on ladder. drmzjoseph, one of the strongest BO5 players that we know. Very good at adjusting his drafts.
Most definitely. Bans are out. Kaki's going to be banned on Zefarious' side of the field. DrmzJoseph is not going to have his Ciara here, but we still have a speed lead on the side of Zefarious' team. Is he able to get that edge, get these negative effects he's looking to apply? Or is this Juno going to be in favor of her today? We know these Junos can be a little messy as we get into this round one with DrmzJoseph and Zefarious.
First turn going to the Water Ryu. Misses the strip on Diana, but it doesn't matter because she will get boosted forward. She will take the next turn.
Well, Diana's going to be cycling here. A little dangerous having this Connell and this Chung Pong primed and ready.
Takes the risk, though. Not afraid. Does get the extra turn. Saw the attack bars on the other units.
Definitely took some risk for sure. Diana still looking fairly healthy right now.
And the situation, it looks like these guys are all tuned to violent, but that Water Ryu potentially on Swift.
There's that skill 3 getting the slow with the additional turn as well.
Needs to land the attack bar reduction. Lands 2 out of 3. Does get a turn in. Cuts in. Goes for the Okeanos. Misses the provoke, though. It does look like Zefarious has a pretty big advantage with all the damage on the field, but I think DrmzJoseph is about to turn it around. He's about to have a lot in return.
Definitely, most definitely going to have a lot in return coming soon. No stun landing on top of Chung Pong. Chung Pong might go for that skill 2.
I really wanted the skill 2 glancing on the Okeanos with the Hay Gang, but didn't hit it. Juno does cleanse, so attack bar goes up, but a big heal comes through as well.
There's a great size heal. Looking for a Despair Stun on top of that Connell. Not receiving it here. We're going to see a big skill 2 coming up for some attack bar pushback. No Despair Stuns coming through here. Glancing sitting on top of Dinah. Dinah cannot cycle with this.
Yeah, most likely seeing a Swift more here. Probably not on Despair considering how fast it was. Although Zefarious could have the incredible runes to do it. We need a lot of damage here from Zefarious. It's not looking so pretty right now.
Definitely not. Unless Zefarious can take down this Diana, then he's going to be in some pretty good shape. He's got to be wary about this Molly getting this additional turn, healing up his team so much.
Molly lands the cleanse, gets the cleanse and an additional turn. Cleanses her own debuffs.
Yep, plenty of healing on the side of DrmzJoseph right now. His team is looking a little low at the moment, though. We're going to see that skill 2 coming out, trying to remove that shield off the Diana, not receiving it here.
Those 2 stuns were massive value. It does give Zefarious a lot of opportunity to play around what DrmzJoseph has. A lot of damage can come out the extra turn from the Cardinal. Does really give you a lot of attack bar boosts and turns forward. There's another one. Has his skills ready again.
Yeah, big proc also getting that provoke on top of the Diana. Diana not able to do anything about that.
Here it is. Additional damage comes out. The big skill 3 reset from Chung Pong into the Cardinal skill 3 could be enough to finish it off.
This might be enough there. Gets that skill 3 into the skill 2 with the Chung Pong. We're going to see this big third skill coming out with Connell. Can he drop all of DrmzJoseph's unit? And he pretty much does so. Water Ryu or the more finishing off that Molly. Zefarious with a huge victory over DrmzJoseph.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. A very dominant showing of all of these AoE control units, the slow debuff, the attack bar reduction, the extra turn mechanics, as well as the attack bar game mechanics on his own team. Just had so much pressure and really fully controlled. You know, that second rotation of Cardinal skill 3 landing 2 stuns both on the Molly and the Okeanos gave him that breathing room to really take down the Diana.
Definitely gave him a lot of breathing to take down that Diana. That was the key unit to remove from the field, but he removed everybody instead. DrmzJoseph looking to bounce back, getting into a round 2 with Zefarious. Zefarious with the first pick. Pre-bans are already out. That looks like a light unicorn getting banned out.
And it is a light unicorn. Zefarious has done his homework, knows that DrmzJoseph does have the Eleanor. And there it is. DrmzJoseph immediately leaning in, going back to what he's comfortable with. The Sierra Barber comes out. Zefarious leaning back to pretty standard ladder drafting here. We see the more alongside Chung Pong and Okeanos.
Zefarious looking at drafting 2 more units. He does have that Gianna now with the Connell. DrmzJoseph possibly bringing back this Vanessa that we've seen so many times from him to just help with these, just having a little bit more damage security for his Beast Riders.
I'm not sure if I like Zefarious slamming down Cardinal and Gianna here. No second speed lead is a little bit scary into a speed lead Barbara opportunity. If you ban the speed lead, you might get outsped. If you ban the Barbara, you might just not have enough pressure.
Well, Lulu is going to be banned out here. Gianna's getting banned out. Speed leads for both teams. Can DrmzJoseph get a victory in here so that he's not looking at 2-0 to try and climb into that third match? But here we go, guys.
Zefarious incredibly fast, does actually take turn 1 away from the Barbara. That base speed difference just not being enough for DrmzJoseph.
Oh, things are going Zefarious' way so well right now. Big rain of stones coming out there. Masha not looking so good. We're going to see that huge third skill coming out of the Connell. Zefarious just with absolute control right now. Does dismount the Masha, does dismount the Barbara. Looking so good for him.
And DrmzJoseph really went into this match kind of gambling that he would be moving ahead of Zefarious, and it's not looking very good right now. The defense break comes up on 2. Sierra should go down this turn.
Yeah, I think Sierra is definitely going to be going down this turn. Goes for the reset on top of Barbara. Barbara really can't do anything here. Everybody's just looking so healthy on the side of Zefarious. Not looking so good for DrmzJoseph. Finishing off the CR there. It's just this Juno trying to get a Despair stun here. Does land on top of the Okeanos. Connell with the provoke on top of the Masha with the additional turn as well. Dealing so much damage to DrmzJoseph's team. Drops the Barbara. This is going to be it. And there you have it. It's it. He concedes. Zefarious with a commanding round 2 victory over DrmzJoseph.
A little bit too much of a gamble there. I was honestly shocked. I really didn't think that the Water Ryu in that situation would have outsped the Barbara. 103 base speed versus 108. But I mean, that just goes to show the rune quality difference between some of these players might be a little more than we were seeing before.
Definitely, and I think that definitely confirms that Water Ryu or that Moore is on Swift, not a Despair set. That is a very fast Water Ryu Moore.
Yeah, Zefarious really showing why he got that rank 17 in season 17, doing very, very, very well. Very strong opponent. DrmzJoseph needs to play it really safe here, needs to go for a big victory or he's going home.
Most definitely. Look how quick they're drafting already. Zefarious with that Okeanos Chung Pung, DrmzJoseph with the Connell, Ciara Juno, and then respond more Hagang, Diana Molly. These drafts are just falling out here. Wraps up his draft with a Ganymede. Both these players know exactly what they want.
A little bit worried for DrmzJoseph, though. I can't tell if he's confident or tilted. He's just kind of flying through it. Zefarious knows exactly what he wants to draft. His standard ladder draft comes out. And there it is. Ganny's gone and Sierra's gone. Zefarious is going to take the first turn.
These are 2 confident players. So confident that we're going into a round 3. DrmzJoseph wants to turn this ship around, or does Zefarious want to get that 3-0 victory over our 2018 America's Cup champion?
Could be the first 3-0 we see in the entire tournament. It could be Zefarious could be taking that title, but DrmzJoseph wants to deny it. He wants the victory for himself.
He definitely does. Chung Pung with the big third skill, getting the resets attack bar reduction as well. Rain of Stones coming out, getting stuns on top of everybody, but Diana's going to be proccing out, possibly looking for a stun on top of Chung Pung. Nails that stun.
DrmzJoseph, Molly not doing a lot for us, not giving us the glancing that we need. Chung Pung did manage to attack bar reduce both the fire units pretty effectively. However, Okeanos did miss the reset, so Cardinal will have some value here.
Juno with the beautiful Despair stun on top of Chung Pung. These 2 players know exactly what they want to do here. Okeanos trying to pummel in this damage on top of the Diana. Diana's going to be transforming here.
Haven't seen 2 players play this quickly in quite a while. They're confident. They're ready to go. Nobody's wasting any time. I know what I want. That Chung Pung needs to go.
Yeah, these 2 players being very, very confident with the cleanse on top of his Connell to remove that glancing from the field. Looking for some attack bar pushback coming from that Hagang. Possible going to be going for the AoE Despair stun out of the Juno, and he does get a little lucky there getting that Despair stun on top of that Chung Pung.
What a big stun from Okeanos. Lands a 4-man, even with the Molly down. Does manage to land the reset this time. Cardinal not having any skills, no slow debuff up for him. But the problem is Zefarious has no healing. He has no way to deal with the extra damage from this Diana.
That's right, DrmzJoseph with the War of Attrition. He has this Molly able to heal up his team so much. Zefarious needs to somehow limit this damage and maybe possibly remove a unit from the field. Diana says no. Diana's coming in here to get rid of this Chung Pung ASAP, removing this unit.
Something worth note is this Diana is also really tanky. She's fast, tanky, and on crit damage. She has everything. DrmzJoseph really trying to prove us wrong. He knows he has the rune quality. He wants to show it to all of us here on the world stage.
Yeah, it definitely does. You can see the provoke sitting on top of that Okeanos has no choice but to go after that Connell. The new unit DrmzJoseph wants to drop here is that Okeanos. Is Water Ryu going to have enough here? Looking for the Despair Stuns and doesn't receive anything. Pushing that Diana up front. Diana looking to possibly pummel the damage in. And there you have it. DrmzJoseph answers. We're going into a round 4.
So I really like DrmzJoseph here. It seemed like he was really confident, and it actually showed. He was super confident. He knew that the Water Ryu didn't have the value of being on Despair. He knew it was super fast. It outsped his Barbara. There's no way that it would be able to get through and actually kill and control this Diana.
I absolutely love that match. Nothing but confidence coming from both these players. And you know what? That's probably what we need to see going into a game 4. If DrmzJoseph can play that confident, draft that confident, I think we could possibly see the game 5.
Be careful, though. This is the opportunity for Zefarious to have that Gianna on the field. I believe Zefarious also does get first pick in this matchup, so Sierra can come out too.
We're going to be seeing a new LD Nat 5 getting banned out here. We've got a Wool Young getting banned out by Zefarious.
Honestly, not sure if DreamsJoseph has a Wool Young or if Zefarious is just not really interested in banning a lot of things.
That is very interesting. He could just possibly be banning random LD Nat 5s. This is possibly a flex coming out of Zefarious, but maybe he won't be flexing if we do go into a game 5. DreamsJoseph drafting Ciara and a Barbara, Zefarious locking in that Okeanos.
Ooh, we see something different, though. Instead of the Water Ryu, we see the Samat. A lot of return damage here. Does deal with the Juno fairly effectively.
Yeah, Juno Connell and DreamsJoseph taking a pause here, thinking if he wants to lock in these units, and does lock these 2 units in Zefarious with 2 last picks here, and it's going to be the Hey Gang and the Gianna.
You like the Hey Gang Gianna here. I think he has enough damage. I think the issue is when you have the Water Ryu on the field in that situation, it's just not enough value when it's on Swift. Even if you get good additional damage on him, he just doesn't have nearly as much threat as someone who can randomly Despair stun you.
Yeah, most definitely. DreamsJoseph, 1 last pick. What can he draft here to possibly throw Zefarious off? And it looks like we're going to be seeing that Molly coming back as the time ticks down to 0.
Yeah, we definitely have to see the Molly on DreamsJoseph's side. We could also see the Diana, but I think it's a little bit too much pressure this time.
Well, Okeanos and Molly going to be the units banned out. Can we go into a game 5? Can DreamsJoseph get that victory? Or could Zefarious shut it down right here?
There it is. First turn going to Gianna. 3 units on Will. We do see the Juno on Will. Something a little unique that we don't see all the time.
Yeah, definitely unique indeed. Not playing in DreamsJoseph's favor right now with a Gianna on the field, but he's able to heal up just a little bit. We're going to see a big, skill 1 instead going into that Gianna.
Actually, pretty good value there from the Barbara. Barbara missing the strip, not pushing the attack bar of that Samat.
Ooh, Zefarious with the additional turns coming out there. At some time, that is the dream to see a skill 3, skill 2 from this Chung Peng. You can see it. We've got Glancing City on top of Ciara. Ciara can't cycle with first skill. Can't really do much when it's stunned up either.
Something worth noting is that this Cardinal might be on 100 resistance. I saw a double resist there against the Samat, as well as a couple of resistances on some other things. It could be designed not to be debuffed by these damage-dealing units.
Yeah, most definitely it could be. This is SWC. Rune quality is always high out here. Bomb does land, on the other hand, on top of this Kano. Kano does have that 3rd skill primed and ready. Choosing to go for the 2nd skill on top of that Gianna. Juno looking to possibly Despair stun this Gianna. Not happening here. Cycling so much attack bar with 1st skill. Possible attack bar pushback on top of it. Gets the Despair stun again on this Barbara.
A lot of damage coming out from that Chung Peng, too. That skill 1 crit hitting for almost 5k. DreamsJoseph gonna really need it. And there's the Violent proc from the Cardinal. Will get the skill 3. Needs the big stuns and the slow debuff.
Only got that stun on top of Gianna here. We're going to see that skill 3 coming out to reduce the attack bar. DreamsJoseph unit looking so good right now for Zefarious. Pummeling the damage with the Samat. Bomb's going to be landing on top. Bomb is not going to be landing today, but the first skill's going to be enough. Dot kills. Juno looking for the solo.
Juno going to be pretty rough into solo here. All these units, no debuffs on skill 1 except for the Samoth, and that's the big damage dealer here. A lot of attack bar pushback with the Brush Boys as well. The Art Masters have so much strength.
So much strength, but Zefarious is moving forward, taking out DreamsJoseph.
And there it is, another America's Cup former champion getting knocked out yet again. DreamsJoseph. This is the first time in an America's Cup that he's participated in. He will not be moving on to the proper rounds here. Congratulations to Zefarious. It just looked like he had his number, and the rune quality that wanted to be shown by both players shows up this time for Zefarious. He books his ticket into the America's Cup as we take a look at it one more time. And again, it just felt like DreamsJoseph never really got comfortable in it, knew what he wanted to do. As you both said, they were just constantly making the moves and not really waiting for the turn bar to go at all here, Stoic.
Yeah, not at all. These two knew exactly what they wanted to do, but it just was not happening for DreamsJoseph. Zefarious, like we said it before, clean drafter, clean plays, and it showed through all of his rounds. He just played excellent, drafted excellent, and DreamsJoseph really did. He put up an excellent fight, but he just couldn't come out with Zefarious here.
Yeah, and One's a Love, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but it just always felt like DreamsJoseph has been the player that has done more with less, finds a way to clutch it out, but this time just gets caught, wasn't quite able to get it done.
Yeah, this season specifically with some of the more recent balance patches, it feels a lot harder to catch up when you're really behind. You know, there's a lot of strength as well with people farming a lot more artifacts, it's very difficult to come back. Very, very difficult to come back. You need very specific units, and you need to get a little lucky on that side as well.
Yeah, well, the luck not on the side this time for DrmzJoseph. Again, the first time in 4 years. The first time in 4 years that he does not make it into the Americas Cup. Zefarious will be moving on, and yet another new face taking down another known quantity, another known proven best of America's talent here. As our day 3, our elimination day has been exactly that. Big eliminations throughout the day. As we pull up the bracket one more time. And it's not DrmzJoseph, it's Zefarious moving on 3-1. So Zefarious, BigV, and DanielKarioKa, your 3 players moving on through. Although Zefarious was the seeded player, it does also feel like we've just had 3 big upsets from players that were supposed to make it through that didn't. So, man, what a day. And that leads us to our last one, where it feels like we have favorites, but both players have such high pedigree in TrueWhale and Tiger. Now, these 2 guys are just fantastic players. They are epic style players, as Tiger was able to prove his mettle earlier against Jsss, one of the brightest minds in our game, not quite able to get over the hump there. And then TrueWhale, the highest rated player in the tournament, probably the biggest toolbox out of everyone, as we take a look again on how Tiger did it once in love.
Yeah, so Tiger actually came out with his A game, really came out with that 2017 spirit, had creativity, had something ready for his opponents. And I'm really excited to see what he has prepared for TrueWhale. We know that he has tons of different units, tons of different LDs, a lot of opportunities. We already saw the counter to the Pontos. Maybe we'll see something else for the Ragdoll and the Kinky.
That's right. As you said, the creativity in the counter was that Water String Master Stoic. This is a huge whale to climb for Tiger. And why don't you explain why exactly?
Well, unit depth is what really coming in here. So we know TrueWhale to have so many weapons. He's got really deep rune depth as well. So he has all of these things, primed and ready. And this is where Tiger's going to really have to, change what he has been doing and start showing what he is doing now. And that's being creative to possibly throw TrueWhale off. And that is going to be tough to throw TrueWhale off, because TrueWhale has so many things that he could possibly be surprising Tiger with. So that's what's going to come down to, is we're looking at how's this draft going to look, and then the match is going to play on.
Right.
So as long as both these 2 players play to their best ability, the draft is going to be saying a lot.
Yeah, and maybe something that Tiger was able to glean from the match earlier that knocked TrueWhale down against Jsss. Jsss, using the Han to perfection, was able to just out DPS a lot of what TrueWhale was trying to do here. Tiger has his work cut out for him, but it is a big task. But today has been the day of upsets, y'all. We know it's been the day of upsets because you take a look at that bracket, and it's just been some of the players that you didn't worthy to go through, obviously, but the ones maybe that you didn't think. Tiger has the opportunity to do it. Again, as Once in Love said, summoning back his form from 3 to 4 years ago when he was the New York champion. TrueWhale, he's got the weight and hopes of expectation upon him. Not only the ones externally, but internally, the one that he sets for himself. The high legend ratings. Let's see how this does. Our final ticket to the America's Cup about to be booked. TrueWhale or Tiger? Who will it be? Stoic, take it away.
We're about to find out. This is the match that a lot of people have been waiting for. We've got Tiger and we've got TrueWhale. 2 absolute animals ready to go at it, and we've got our pre-bans right here.
Literal animals, as one might say. A tiger might be one of the only animals to climb over that whale, but let's see it. Han pre-banned on TrueWhale's side, does not want to give Tiger that Han, knows that it was rough in last week's matches versus Jsss, and Tiger banning away the Pontos, doesn't need to pick that Songsiolo for this matchup.
That's interesting that we're going to be seeing a Pontos ban, because he was so well prepared in last match, but TrueWhale is going to be going with that very strong first pick, taking that Okeanos away from Tiger.
We do like to see the Okeanos first pick. Every single player in this tournament has an incredibly well-runed Okeanos, some on Swift, some on Violence, some on crit damage for that matter. It's one of those amazing units that we can see on so many different types of versatile builds.
We've got Ciara and Lulu being drafted for Tiger, and we've got a Ganny coming out here alongside this Water Ryu.
Honestly, a little shocked. Something wasn't quite expecting in a matchup like Tiger versus TrueWhale. We're seeing some pretty standard ladder drafting. We see the Okeanos into the Sierra Lulu. We see the follow-up with 3 elements alongside that Water Ryu, but Tiger changes it up, wants the Nyx.
Yep, Nyx is coming out alongside with that Connell. It's a very strong pairing of these two units if they're able to make it through. TrueWhale hovering over at Chung Peng. Does he choose to lock this in? He's got one more unit to draft here.
Yeah, have to be careful, though. We know Tiger really likes this Nyx pick. It's very comfortable for him. He's been playing with it for quite a while now.
And it looks like he's going to be going with double brush boys. We've got Chung Peng and we've got Jogun coming out for TrueWhale.
Yeah, we love to see those art masters, especially with their new transmogs. Very, very beautiful animations, very strong units. Even after Jogun got that nerf, still one of the most contested picks out here.
Well, Tiger looking to draft after seeing both of those Chung Peng and Jogun. We've got one last pick for Tiger. What is it going to be?
Could be the Hay Gang. Those have potential there, but we see the Diana instead. Lots of damage potentially coming out from this Diana. Looking towards most likely an Okeanos ban for this.
Yeah, Diana being a very strong last pick here for Tiger. Bans are going to be coming out shortly.
You could also see the Chung Peng ban. Chung Peng is a pretty strong ban here. No, but there it is. Okeanos going away. And same with Nyx. We're most likely seeing double speed leads.
Yep, definitely going to be seeing double speed leads here. Okeanos gone, Nyx gone here. Nyx being paired so well with that Connell. TrueWhale wants no part of it. Speed leads for both teams. We're getting into it, guys. Our first match, the match we've all been waiting for. TrueWhale and Tiger.
First turn comes up. It goes to Jogun.
Jogun with a full strip. It does land, pushing that Diana forward. Diana possibly looking for some shields to help save the team just a little bit, and does go for the shields.
A little bit afraid here. I'd be a little worried. You got a Ganny and a Chung Peng coming through.
Yep, Watery with a big strip there. Does not get the strip on top of the Lulu. Lulu expected to have max resistance. Chung Peng may not care about that in a second, though.
Ooh, does resist the reset here, but doesn't matter either way. The Seal Magic most likely going into the Lulu, but could also go for the Cardinal if he's a little bit afraid of the speed there.
Ooh, he's going to be ventilating right back to the Chung Peng. He might be gambling here and trying to seal up this Lulu. We're about to find out which unit he chooses to scroll trap, and it is going to be the Connell here.
Scroll trapping the Cardinal because of the elemental disadvantage, but it's still a bit of a risk. We do have Diana potential stun here.
Diana looking for that stun on top of Ganny. Ganny has that Seal of Magic ready and waiting, looking for a stun on top of this Chung Peng, not receiving that stun. We have all skills up here, waiting on Chung Peng. Chung Peng with a big second skill, getting defense breaks on top of everybody. Seal of Magic's out here on top of Lulu, dumping the attack bars on everybody as well.
Full pushback, very strong and very effective here. TrueWhale has defense break with the Chung Peng skill 3 coming in. It's going to be a lot of damage on everyone. It's not looking very good for Tiger.
The unit of focus is definitely going to be the Ciara here. We've got that third skill coming out here. A lot of additional damage going out on top of Diana. Everyone's looking fairly low right now. He's got the glancing effect on top of Diana. He's got now the glancing effect on top of the Ciara as well. Connell's got no skill. He does have some skills up, and it is his third, looking to get a Despair Stun on anybody. He gets that stun on top of Ganny.
A lot of damage comes up from Wateryu, enough to take down the Sierra. Diana does have the potential here, but needs an extra turn before she can transform.
No stuns going out on top of the Chung Peng here. We've got Jogun with the third skill trying to get some attack buffs for his team here. Is Jogun going to have enough damage to possibly drop this Lulu?
Chung Peng into the Lulu is pretty close, but doesn't matter. The Wateryu follows up for the kill.
Yeah, Wateryu was all ready for it. Looks like he's going to be cycling here. He's going to be shaking off that glancing and see this damage coming out from Diana. He needs as much damage as possible, dealing as much damage as possible to the Chung Peng. He's going to go and transform back, and he may drop Chung Peng here.
Still pretty scared for Tiger here. Does get the extra turn on Diana, though. No longer nearly as scared as I was before. Has the damage pressure. Could go towards the Ganny, but has to be able to lock down this Wateryu with either the Diana skill 1 stun or the Cardinal. Otherwise, it's just going to rotate too much.
Ooh, a lot of people at the edge of their seat for this Diana. If we saw another additional turn, it could have been over for TrueWhale here. And we've got Connell trying to drop this Ganymede because we got Chung Peng dropping here as well.
Needs the provoke on the Jogun. Needs to deny the Jogun from hitting that Diana with attack buff.
Let's see who chooses to go for it. Drows to drop out the Ganymede, but we've got the scroll ready. He scrolls up that Connell, and he's got first skill on the Diana. Doesn't drop the Diana here, but it is going to be enough here with the Wateryu. Wateryu first skilling down Diana, and is just a lonely Connell. Does he get the Despair Stuns out here with the Wateryu not receiving it here? Goes for his attack buff. Not looking good at all for Tiger.
Needs a violent proc. Gets the violent proc. Here it is. Could get the stun on the water. You does have the potential.
Needs to get that stun there. Doesn't receive the stun. I think this is definitely going to be it here for the attack bar pushback. Doesn't receive it, but he just has Water Ryu ready there. And TrueWhale is going to be taking round 1 away from Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger really thought he could bring it back. That Diana proc was pretty big. It could have been enough to change the game, but really needed to get the value out of that Cardinal skill 3. Had to land the stun on the Water Ryu there, but just couldn't protect it enough.
Yeah, additional turns with Diana can be absolutely devastating. Diana could have turned that match around.
Yeah, 100%. Diana is a very scary unit in this situation. I think Tiger's really going to have to change up his drafting. He's really going to have to go a little more aggressive here against TrueWhale.
Well, we've got pre-bans out here. 2 speed leads are getting banned out. We've got Ciara banned, and we've got the Water Ryu banned.
TrueWhale, a little bit afraid to pick that Ragdoll, though. Knows that Tiger has a Tianlang, has that Light Panda. Very good passive to counter it.
Well, Tiger, of course, going with that Okeanos. TrueWhale drafting the Ganny. We're seeing Ganny in a first round with that Lulu.
And Lulu most likely seeing the Pontos come out, but has potential to be afraid of it. Tiger does have the big counter to it. We know we saw it before. And the Han and Nyx come out. Very strong speed lead combination into a stripper.
Yeah, most definitely taking that Han away from TrueWhale. We saw TrueWhale drafting the Han before. TrueWhale looking to respond after seeing both these LD Nat 5s, possibly bringing his own into this game too.
Now, Han Nyx pretty strong here. Does have the 3-turn defense break, what comes out with the Nyx, but TrueWhale actually goes in and picks his own Tianlang against Tiger, wants to deny the attack bar, and there's the Pontos.
There's the Tianlang. Pontos takes his 2 LD Nat 5s, and of course we're going to be seeing that Water String Master coming out again for Tiger.
Tiger almost looks like he expected this to come out, saw the Tianlang Pontos coming, picks the Chiwu and the Sungseol. Very effective combination, and TrueWhale is going to slap down the Kinky last. Kinky's a little bit scary in this draft.
So many contested picks between the two of them, both of them having Tianlang, both of them having Kinky, both of them having Han. These guys are going to be going back and forth with these units. Excellent drafts for both of these players, though.
Yeah, very strong showing from TrueWhale. Honestly, because he's playing turn 2, it looks like he's a little bit on the behind side, but when you throw down the Kinky and a Pontos together, it's pretty hard to really argue that that's not a scary comp in its own right.
Yep, most definitely. Looks like Kinky's going to be banned out here, and so is that Okeanos. Speed leads coming out for both teams. Who's going to be taking first turn as we get into round 2 with TrueWhale and Tiger?
A little worried that TrueWhale doesn't have enough damage to deal with the Sungseol. And there it is. The Nyx goes first. Nyx taking first turn, but doesn't land anything.
Absolutely nothing coming out of that Nyx, but we've got a full team strip coming out of this Chiwu, though. Or is he going to be playing his tune to stop this Pontos from getting his buffs up?
Could be playing the tune. Has to be a little bit scared, though. The Tianlang skill 2 could be enough. Could go for the stun on first turn. Deny the opportunity there.
Ooh, the unit of focus for Tiger is going to be on top of this Ganymede. Ganymede still doing all right. Big despair stun with the defense break sitting on top of Han. Han not looking so good right now.
Han about to take a lot of damage. Ganny does have the seal ready.
Yep, seal primed and ready to reduce the attack bars of all of Tiger's units.
A lot of damage. The skill 3 multiplier actually hitting really, really hard. Even there, no crit, 6k damage. Crit that could have easily been 12 to 13, depending on how much attack TrueWhale has on his Ganymede.
Yep, going in with the sweeping waves to get the silences on top of Tiger's team here.
Ooh, a 2-turn sleep comes out from the Chiu. Not sure if it's going to make too much of a difference. If Han goes down, I don't think Tiger's going to have enough damage to fight through TrueWhale. He does have that Pontos and the Lulu. Lots of healing coming out.
Yeah, definitely has a lot of healing. You won't be able to get his buffs up there because that song is still playing. Goes for the big heal with the additional turn as well. Pummel more damage on top of the defense broken Han. Han not able to do anything here.
Ooh, another turn from Pontos. More chip damage coming out. Han's going to go down on this turn.
Whoa, big stuns coming out of Tiger, though. It's exactly what he needed to see with the glancing effect. Is going to be landing on top of this Ganymede. Ganymede not going to be able to do anything. Can he drop the Han? And he is able to drop the Han.
Tiger lacking the damage to really get through this Lulu. Even with the cooldown reset from the Nyx, it's just not enough. Doesn't have the additional that he needs. Doesn't have the big burst nuke.
Tiger reads right into that, and he concedes. Round 2 is going to TrueWhale.
Yeah, Tiger had a pretty interesting draft. He knew what was coming, knew what he wanted, but really just couldn't get enough damage out there with the Han. We saw him set up for it, but just one of those times where it's like, hey, I want to pick something creative, and it just didn't work out the way it should have.
Yeah, it definitely did it, but the pre-bans are coming out again. Han's getting banned out, even though TrueWhale can take that unit away from him. He's going to be banning out the Han, and Tiger is going to be banning out that Pontos.
Yeah, TrueWhale, a little bit afraid of the Han, doesn't really synergize super well with any composition he runs. As you can see, he's got a lot of that AoE CC with the speed leads. Han kind of just sits there. He does, although he does a lot of damage, I will be honest, he does a lot of damage. Doesn't really fit the comp super well.
Yeah, not at all. It did not work out for Tiger, but Tiger looking to possibly draft some new units, something fresher going into a round 3 with TrueWhale. TrueWhale with that first pick, taking that Okeanos away from Tiger.
Tiger has to be careful as well. I think TrueWhale, from what we've seen in the tournament so far, it looks like he runs high resist on a lot of his support units. Has the opportunity to play very defensively. Han missing all 4 defense breaks, so it goes to show.
Yeah, most definitely. Sierra Connell coming out for Tiger. We've got Ganny and Water Ryu out here for TrueWhale.
Yeah, with artifacts being released and having skill 3 accuracy, skill 2 accuracy and such, it's actually a lot more feasible to get high resistance on your units, alongside the fact that, you know, these are the best players in the world with the best runes in the world.
Yeah, most definitely. Interesting to see the Tian Lang coming out here with the Ciara, who's supposed to be gaining attack bar from her first skill. Looks like Tian Lang's going to be gaining that attack bar. No attack bar gain on the side of TrueWhale, though.
Yeah, a little bit risky, though. TrueWhale does have that Okeanos skill 3. Every stun's 25%. And it also does deny the more passive, drops it from 100 to 50. And Tiger dropping in the kinky last here. Doesn't want TrueWhale to have it.
Yeah, dropping in the kinky as well. There's a lot of damage coming out of Tiger here. I can't help but favor Tiger just a little bit with the amount of damage, but there is the control on the side of TrueWhale with the sustain as well. Is that going to be enough, or can Tiger muscle his way and take round 3 away from TrueWhale?
Tianlang going to be very effective. Could steal turn 1 away after that Water Ryu moves.
Yep, most definitely speed leads for both teams. Here we go, guys. We've got round 3 between TrueWhale and Tiger.
There it is. That really fast Nyx going again. Does move in front of everybody.
And Nyx looking for the full team strip and does not get a full team strip once again. But we've got skill 2 coming out for Water Ryu doing absolutely nothing.
Ooh, Tian Lang with the single despair stun and then stun afterwards. The first hit on the sequence being the despair stun that we get to see.
Kind of looking to take advantage of TrueWhale's units now that no will is up here. No provokes landing on top of this Okeanos. Bombs coming out for Ciara.
Ciara could skill 1 for attack bar gain, but she will only get half, only that 22.5%. But it still could push him ahead of the enemy team. Could go for the risk. Doesn't quite need to blow it up yet.
And he does go for a little bit of attack bar gain. He does get the additional turn. He's going to have bomb up next turn here. Glancing possibly going to be applied from this Nyx here onto the Chung Pong, and it does land. Water Ryu looking for a despair stun on top of Ciara, not receiving it here.
Oh, but that Nyx landing the 1-turn reset on Chung Pong is enough to save Tiger. Does give him the extra turn, a despair stun, but the bomb is resisted on TrueWhale's side, so we get the Okeanos skill 3 coming out.
Yeah, no stun landing on top of that Okeanos. Rain of Stones come out, stuns everybody. Ciara has that bomb primed and ready. Okeanos looking not healthy at all.
Sierra missing the bomb. Really needed the value on that. TrueWhale does have a chance to come back here. Does have the skill 3 on his Chung Pong available.
Definitely needed to land that bomb on top of Chung Pong, not receiving it. They were going to see a skill 3 possibly come out with the Chung Pong with glancing here. Does get some attack bar reduction as well.
Needs to steal the Carnal, needs to push back the attack bar. Can't take any risks now.
Yeah, big seal on top of that Carnal. Ciara looking very, very low right now. Goes for a big skill 2, not receiving any despair stuns. Does he choose to drop the Ciara with the skill 2?
Probably should take out the Sierra. The chip damage is just so strong. TrueWhale does have the potential to win this match out, but Tiger is still showing a pretty strong force. Has that Tian Lang, has that Carnal.
Yeah, definitely not over for Tiger at all. I mean, we've got the Despair Stuns, and there's the Despair Stuns, and he just drops the Okeanos just like that.
We're probably going to see the Ventilate into the Chung Pong, but it's a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a risk here. Instead, goes for the Water Ryu, wants the additional damage on skill 2.
Yeah, definitely goes for the Water Ryu, but he lands the provoke, and he's not able to capitalize with that skill 2. Glancing does not apply. Can Tiger drop Water Ryu, and does drop the Water Ryu?
Oh, that entire Ventilate denied. Denied by an off-element provoke. Huge play for Tiger. Took the risk and got rewarded.
Yeah, definitely a huge play indeed. Glancing sitting on top of this Connell. Connell still able to land the glancing. Chung Pung not dropping the Connell here. Big stuns coming out of the Tian Lang. Glancing be applied to the Ganymede. I think it's going to be over here. Connell looking to finish off this Ganymede. And we've got Tian Lang ready to drop this unit. This is going to be it. And we have Tiger taking round 3 away from TrueWhale.
So many despair stuns coming out from this Tian Lang. Tian Lang having so much impact in that match, even without gaining a ton of attack bar from the other units from the Water Ryu passive, the Water Ryu skill 2, and the Okeanos skill 3, managed to have so much pressure. You know, that first hit in the sequence we recognize as a despair stun, the third hit being the actual stun on the skill. He managed to get both almost every single time.
Yeah, he really did. That was a very strong unit for him. You know, it's even taking it where he did, he was just taking it away from TrueWhale at that point, and he capitalized on it. Got a lot of great despair stuns coming out of it, but maybe there's going to be a change of pace as we go into a round 4 between TrueWhale and Tiger. Pre-bans are out. We've got Nyx, we've got Water Ryu pre-banned, and Tiger with the first pick.
Could lead towards the Sierra, but wants the Okeanos again, denies it. It's the most contested first pick between all these contestants.
Yeah, it goes for that Okeanos, and we have Lulu and Ganymede once again being first picked by TrueWhale.
TrueWhale leaning towards that Pontos pickup again. Not quite sure if Tiger wants to pick the Songseol or set up differently for it.
Looks like Tiger's going to be leaning for that Chung Pung and one other unit. We may see him go ahead and take that Tian Lang once again, just so TrueWhale doesn't take it again, but he's going to be going with his own speed lead, bringing out a Ciara.
I like the opportunity here for Tiger to actually show a Juno in the second last round. It's very strong into this.
TrueWhale hovering over speed lead himself in the form of this Chiwu, taking that away. We may see the Pontos come out, and then we might see Tiger respond to that.
The Chiwu definitely leans into a really strong Cardinal pick. Last pick Pontos is very effective. It's not a ton of damage, but it's enough sustain with control with the Ganymede, Pontos, and the Lulu to actually win out through what Tiger has. However, if he does take the Juno, it's going to be really, really good into everything that TrueWhale has here.
Yeah, definitely would be a fantastic pick coming from Tiger. A lot of damage, I would say, on the side of Tiger's team right now. Just some control on the side of TrueWhale. Not a lot of firepower.
That sounds a little crazy, but I actually wouldn't mind. And there it is. I wouldn't mind seeing a Chow, and there it is. We see Chow yet again alongside the Han.
Yep, there's that Chow and that Han. Tian Lang is going to be coming out for TrueWhale here. Is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough to hold back Tiger from possibly getting his second victory over TrueWhale? Chow looking very, very strong right now, though.
The speed lead opportunity here for Tiger is very good, though. If the Tian Lang does come through, potentially banning out the Chiwu to deny first turn instead.
So he does lock in that Tian Lang.
I think on TrueWhale side, I think we're still seeing the Chow ban. We might see the Chung Pung ban instead, but I think the Chow is still a very strong ban here.
I think the Chow is a very strong ban as well, being one of his big-time damage dealers. Is that Fire Bison choosing to ban out Chung Pung instead?
Is this the first match we see a Chow?
This is the first match we finally get to see a Chow. Guys, we're going into a game 4 with TrueWhale and Tiger. Is Chow going to be the unit, the successor? Are we going to see this big match come out for Tiger? We're about to find out.
Okeanos ready to go. Spear of Devastation does land the reset, denies the seal magic on Ganymede.
Definitely denies that third scale. Glancing does apply to the Chow. We've got Han looking to pummel in some damage here, going right after the Ganymede. Ganymede with the defense break not looking good, very low. Tian Lang, of course, cutting in, going in for a big second scale, receiving huge value with the stun onto Okeanos and the Han.
That double stun, extra massive. Chow will get a turn here, but won't be able to get into any defense broken targets. Does cleanse himself now with that recent buff. Justice comes up, only 11k on the Lulu, though. Not a lot of plus water damage there.
Yeah, not a lot of plus water damage at all on those artifacts. Lulu could be that tanky as well. Who knows? We're going to see a big third skill coming out of this Kano, looking to possibly deal some serious damage to the Han and Okeanos.
Debating if saving it, wants to possibly put the slow debuff there up on the Sierra. Sierra will get the turn. Lands the bomb. Here it comes. Does he rotate? Does he go for the skill 1 risk?
Oh, he goes for that bomb, and no stun's going to be happening on top of this Lulu. He does have that ventilate here with Ganymede.
They put it into Tian Lang. Potential for a second set of stuns, but goes for the glancing. Hits it on the Han. Han did not violent proc, so no chance to stun or kill that Lulu.
Does get very important glancing on top of Ciara and that Han as well. We've got the defense break possible despair stuns going out on top of Molong, not receiving it. Big skill 3 trying to heal up his team as much as possible. Chow looking to pummel the damage on top of Lulu.
Need a lot of value out of this Chow. Chow could win up the match, but needs to kill the Lulu and then go immediately for that Tianlang. That defense break is very scary. Here comes the Seal Magic. Seal Magic could be ending the game here. This could be it. TrueWhale taking it over Tiger.
Ooh, there's that Seal Magic with the additional turn. Everybody hates to see that additional turn coming out of Ganymede. It is so oppressive.
And then Ventilate going back into the Fire and Bison. Fire and Bison will be able to reapply the slow, the additional damage, and the stun potential.
Ooh, there's that big damage going on to Ciara, looking to reapply that glancing on top of Ciara as well. Does get the glancing reapplied. Chow trying to pummel in some massive damage. Can Tiger come back with this one unit alone?
Do we see a 10k Chow? Is this a return to Mobile Masters? Do we see the Chow solo in the 1v4? Or will it fall short here to TrueWhale?
We're about to find out. Bison shutting down 2 units. Ciara and Han are going to be dropping here. Okeano's probably going to be dropping here as well. Tiger can already see it. TrueWhale is going to be moving forward.
It was procedural, it was oppressive, but TrueWhale gets it done here, and another former champion gets knocked out. This almost feels like it's a passing of the torch. We had 3 players today in today's elimination matches that had the opportunity to move on, that had won a championship previously. All 3 of them failed to move on, which means in the America's Cup, we only got 1 guy. It's Thompson from 2019, the America's Cup champion, the only returning champion in the tournament that we dubbed, y'all. We dubbed it the Tournament of Champions. We're like, we got all these guys that have had the experience, but it's the new kids on the block. I guess the new players that are trying to also etch their name into the America's Cup. Not all the players are new. And TrueWhale, rightfully so, living up to his name, living up to his rank, and punches his ticket to the America's Cup. Once in love. It was done comprehensively here against Tiger.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. The drafting was great. The bans were great. Different things we didn't expect to see. A lot of damage coming out of this water ryu, something we don't generally see in this season, this meta. A lot of people have optioned to go for a lower damage water ryu with the faster setup or the despair. But TrueWhale, sticking tried and true to what he has, manages to overcome Tiger and absolutely destroy him in a couple of these matches.
Yeah, Stoic, I mean, it was a dominant performance here by TrueWhale. What we actually expected when he went up against Shizzy in the winners bracket finals last week.
I know, most definitely. Everyone was expecting to see just so many more LD Nat 5s coming out of TrueWhale. And then we only saw the Pontos, and then we saw the Tianlang, and that was it. I mean, he didn't even get a chance to draft his Han because Tiger kept taking it away from him. But TrueWhale drafting, honestly, a little more like everybody else today, and it worked out for him.
Yeah, rune quality proving true here. And again, sometimes it isn't the units that you have, but sometimes it's the threat of the units that you have, where you have to think about it, force the other player to pick into something, and so maybe playing standard is the way to go. And so there it is. TrueWhale will continue on and move on into the America's Cup as we take a look one more time at our players from today's action. Who will be joining them? It started off with DanielKarioKa, BigV, drmzjoseph, and Tiger getting the earlier wins. Then that top side of the bracket, DanielKarioKa and BigV with the big upsets. Probably, again, the biggest upset so far in SWC 2021. DanielKarioKa from Brazil taking down the 2020, the reigning America's Cup champion. And JMak, then BigV, dominant over Michaelyan. Michaelyan almost made it a contest there with a good draft, I think, in game number 3, but wasn't quite able to get past the overpowering picks that BigV had. And then, as you saw, the other players that were able to qualify on in. Huge, huge stuff there. There's your 8 contenders for the America's Cup. Shizzy, Faint Memory, Madream D. Thompson, DanielKarioKa, BigV, Zefarious, and TrueWhale. One of these players will be winning the America's Cup, and 2 of these players will be representing the Americas region over at SWC 2021. Y'all, it's been a hell of a tournament so far. I wanted to get your final thoughts here before we close things out here. Stoic, 8 players make it on through. What do you think of this list from where we started?
This is a phenomenal list. Like, I'm looking at all these players, and I'm already trying to reminisce back to, like, all the games that we've played. Every one of them are bringing something new, and I'm loving to see all the I love to see all these new faces coming into an America's Cup final. It's going to be quite exciting, and I think every one of these players have their chance at winning America's Cup.
Ones of love, thoughts?
I'm really excited to see a lot of new units being brought in. You know, we have Fame Memory picking the Chloe and the Wind Ryu. We have BigV with the Nikki. We've seen the Songseol from Tiger. Sadly, that's gone, but I mean, someone else could pick it up. We know there's a lot of Pontus users in here. I'm just excited to see how incredibly creative our players are and how incredibly creative they get.
Yeah, well, there you go, y'all. Again, it's been a hell of a tournament. Upsets abound, but we've got our final 8 for the Americas Cup. It is going to be a heck of a tournament. Remember, the records reset. It's back to a double elimination. So these 8 players that made it on in, it didn't matter if you went in unscathed or if you lost a match but were able to rally here in the elimination day. It gets reset. You get your losses back. So we'll see who will prevail in a very, very exciting and fresh-faced Americas Cup 2021. All right. You all at home, we know what it's been. I've seen you in 808 chat. I've seen you popping off the whole time. Where's the coupon codes? Here it is. Bam, right on here. Make sure to plug that one in. Android users use that. If you're an Apple user, make sure you find the code to scan. It is see you on September 12th. See the letter U on Sept 12th. It's almost like Seppi, who's probably pretty happy that DanielKarioKa was able to get on in. Yeah, you're able to get yourself 100 energy and 50 summoning stones, which is enough to pull that favorite one of yours. The favorite one that's on the top, you know, one of those Nat 5s? Yeah, you can go ahead and pop that one in and make sure you get that. And of course, make sure to stick around for the later on in August for the showdown. It is the Lost Centuria World Showdown on August 7th at 8 p.m. Pacific. Make sure that you lock in and make sure you cover all of that action because it's going to be one hell of an event. Y'all, it has been so damn good. So good to watch the preliminaries, and I cannot wait for the Americas Cup. Again, September 12th, same time, same place, 8 competitors, 2 spots, 1 champion. On behalf of myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, all of Com2uS, thank you so much for watching. There's your 8 right there. We'll see y'all September 12th.